This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town: apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Tonight, under the Friday night lights, it's a clash of AA heavyweights in North Dakota high school football. The #1 Minot North Sentinels, a program on the rise and looking every bit the part of a powerhouse, square off against the red-hot #4 Devils Lake Firebirds, winners of 5 straight games. It's the state's best defense against one of the most dangerous streaks going alive. Buckle up, folks. Tonight is going to be one of the makings of an instant classic here on PSP Network. Well, it's the number one team in the state, the Minot North Sentinels, standing tall, marching strong, and playing with that big target on their back. They've been the story of the year in AA football, and tonight is their biggest test yet. Marching into town, that's the Magic City we like to call Minot, North Dakota, flying high, riding the thermals of a 5-game win streak. The number 4 ranked team in the state of North Dakota, the Devil's Lake Firebirds. The Firebirds, they've been red hot, scorching opponents left and right. Now they've got their sights set on taking down the top dogs. Something's got to give tonight. Will the Sentinels stand guard at the top, or will the Firebirds keep soaring higher and higher? My name is Dallas Hansen. Thank you for choosing PSP Network on your Friday night. Alongside with me in the broadcast booth is one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth, Corey McIver. Corey, welcome in.
Hey, it's good to be here, man. We were just talking about it before we went on the air. It's been a while since you and I have been able to get together and call a football game. So we're excited in the matchup, and like you said, you've got two of the best teams in Division AA, and here to do battle on here in Minot. So it's going to be an exciting ball game.
Well, Corey, tonight's broadcast, the pregame sponsorship is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. They're your locally owned oil change headquarters. 25 years of the Lundins taking care of people. Local actually matters. Not to mention this oil change is a stay-in-your-car-through drive-through oil change that is typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Find them in Minot and Bismarck. It's Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Let's start off with our quarterback play for Devil's Lake. And if you love quarterback play, this is the game for you. QB1 for Devil's Lake goes by the name of Mason Palmer. Just over 1,200 yards passing on the year to go along with 15 passing touchdowns. But, Corey, when you watch Mason play, he has this unique way of extending plays when faced under pressure. And that's something that it can't be taught. It's got to be that football IQ. And when he can make something out of nothing, Devil's Lake Firebirds look on fire.
It's very difficult if you're, Coach Zach Rudolph, the defense coordinator for Minot North. I'm sure he was watching film on Devil's Lake offense and just trying to figure out how we're going to keep this kid in the pocket. Because if you have a mobile quarterback, and Minot North knows this because they have a pretty decent mobile quarterback as well too. And in Blickery, if you get those guys out in space, they become a two-headed monster. They're going to throw the ball, they're going to run the ball, and then if you play back, you're giving up yards on the run, and if you come up there, their receivers, Devil's Lake's receivers, do a very good job of coming back to the ball on scramble drills, and that's something that coaches, you can practice that in practice during the week. You can teach that to players, but a lot of it is based on instinct and just the flow of the game, and you have a quarterback and receiving crew that are kind of on the same page. That way, when you're able to scramble and move and get out of the pocket, you become a very difficult team to defend.
Well, the other side of the ball, like you mentioned, the Sentinels have a pretty dang good quarterback themselves, Braden Blickery. He's known for his ability to rush as a quarterback. They run that very unique quarterback sneak. But we've seen him sling the rock to a wide variety, whether it's a tight end delay or one of the biggest X factors out on tonight's field, Josiah Jacquanet. What do you think of Blickery?
I like Blickery. I think I've done a lot of their games that last year and now the home games this year, and he steadily has improved. He seems to get better every time we see him play, and he's a smart kid. He's the type of quarterback you want. That Coach Holman likes for his system. He's a smart kid. He doesn't do anything to make a whole lot of mistakes. He knows when to tuck it in and run. He knows when to throw the ball away. He's not afraid to have a little gunslinger in there with him too. He'll force it. He'll challenge some things every once in a while as well too. But for the most part, he's a smart kid, and he knows how to take care of the football. And that's one thing we talked about in pregame, and I know talking with keys of the game, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, that's something that Minot North is really going to want to do today. Is they're going to want to control the line of scrimmage, they're going to want to control the clock, and they're going to want to keep the ball out of the hands of this potent Devil's Lake offense.
You've been listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services that won't slow you down. Locations in Minot and Bismarck. Coming up next, Corey and I are going to break down this football game a little bit more and talk about some of our leaders in passing and receiving in AA football.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Hey, there you are. Welcome back to the Valve and Instant Oil Change pregame show. My name is Dallas Hansen, alongside Corey McIver. Let's take a quick look at some of our things that people maybe are not knowing who Devils Lake is right now. They come in with a record of 5-1. Last week we had them here on PSP Network. They beat St. Mary's in Bismarck 55-14. And Corey, I was on the call for that game. And one thing I noticed, their defense played extremely well, forcing turnovers with interceptions. Also, the linebacker crew for Devils Lake really got after the quarterback with sacks, forcing him out of the pocket. Just the little things. So their defense, everybody talks about Devils Lake's offense, but it's the defense.
Well, one nice thing with having a high potent offense like Devils Lake has is that, you know, they're going to put points on the board and you're probably going to have a lead. So that allows your defense to be a little bit more aggressive and take risks that you normally probably wouldn't take if it's a close game or if you're trailing. So when Devils Lake gets the lead, you're going to see their defense be a little bit more aggressive and yeah, they like to pressure the quarterback. They don't like to have the quarterback be comfortable in the pocket, be able to look over the field and pick them apart. They're going to force the issue a little bit. So that's one thing that is going to be interesting to see between these two ball clubs is how the respected offenses handle some of the defensive pressure that they're going to see tonight.
Well, Corey, usually we have a player to watch, but I figured it was the tail of the tape today. How about this offense? 34.8 points per game, almost that 35. But then you look at the other side of it, Minot North's defense, not even giving up 5 points a game.
Yeah, and that's something, too, that we've seen, too. You know, their offense, they put points on the board. Again, your defense is going to play it a little bit more relaxed. They're going to allow teams to maybe get some big chunk plays, and which we've seen in the past couple home games that we've done. Minot North is kind of prone to giving up some big plays, but when they need to, their defense does step up and they'll cause a turnover or 4 and out or something like that. But how many times is that going to be the case tonight, where you're going to have to rely on your defense to maybe step up a little bit in some crunch time situations? So it's going to be a nice little chess. It's going to be a nice little chess game. And the flip side, you can see on the flip side too, Minot North can put some points on the board, and so now that's going to put some pressure on Devils Lake's defense as well.
Yeah, Corey, as you alluded to, Minot North, they played at Bismarck St. Mary's. They won 28-0. Then last week they played at Watford City, won that one 43-0. So like you said, 0 points in the last 2 games. I mean, that's something you can definitely hang your hat on.
Yeah, and that's something that they're going to look to continue to do tonight against Devils Lake, and it's going to be a tall task, and it's really going to see, you know, what defense is going to be able to step up when the offense is kind of starting to roll a little bit, because then, you know, those defensive players, they feed off of that as well too. And if your offense is clicking and rolling, the last thing your defense wants to do is give the other team back some momentum. So it's going to be a nice little chess match between these coaching staffs.
Well, let's quick look at our standings here in AA football. Kindred playing really well. They're still number 1 out of the East, 6-0. Grand Forks Central right on those heels of Kindred, 6-0. But then we look out at West, and this tonight, folks, is going to make the number 1 seed coming out of the West for the playoffs. You got Minot North at 6-1, Devils Lake at 5-1, 2-0, both in division play. So kind of a talented East and a talented West. I cannot wait for playoffs.
Oh, this has the makings for some really good playoff games when they come to that time of the year, and it's going to be what team is playing well, what team is rolling down the stretch of the end of the regular season into the playoffs, because there's going to be some real clashes when the playoff time, and the 2 teams that meet in the Fargo Dome for that state title have definitely won. They've definitely going to earn it, and then people are going to be in store for one heck of a football game.
You're listening to the Valve and Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely service that won't slow you down. Locations in Minot and Bismarck. Let's take a quick look at that media poll right now. Number 1, Minot North, 6-0. They've been at number 1 since the get-go. So can they go coast to coast, if you will, from the gate to finish this season? But then you go down a few spots. Devils Lake 5-1 on that 5-game win streak. They lost their first game of the regular season to Kindred, but again, that's first game jitters, and Kindred's a very talented team, don't get me wrong, but then to roll off 5-0, that's something special.
Yeah, you always have, throughout the course of your season, you're always going to have that one game where you're going to kind of stumble a little bit, and you're not going to play as well as you probably had thought you were going to. And for Devils Lake, you know, that was the first game of the season. They righted the ship, and they've been able to rattle off 5 straight now. And on the flip side, you look at Minot North; they've just kind of been rolling since the since the end of last year in the playoff loss, and then to come back and start the season off hard. Yeah, I mean, number 1 seed, you've got the target on your back. Everybody's going to come out and give you their best game possible, and so you're going to have to kind of be up to the task as well.
Well, you've been listening to Valve and Instant Oil Change pregame show. Coming up next, we're going to have Corey McIver's keys to the game. You're going to want to hear this.
You worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shots Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shots Crossroads.
Well, both teams are on the field. The Minot North band is getting everybody warmed up tonight. I know I say this every week, but that has got to be one of the best bands in the state.
This is definitely, we talk about it all the time. You want to talk about a home field advantage. You come out here to Sentinel Field and in this stadium, and we talked about how we were probably going to have quite a bit of fans, not only Minot North fans, but Devils Lake fans as well too. I mean, they travel well with their fan base, and so this is. For fan bases on both teams, this is going to be one heck of a ball game. But yeah, like you said, between the pep band, the cheerleaders, everybody's kind of enjoying themselves, having a good time. So it's going to be a good game.
Well, next week, guess what? Football is on Thursday. So Bones Barbecue Sauce. I love Bones Barbecue, one of the best places to eat here in Minot. They're bringing you to next week, Thursday. Football. Well, they're not just NFL football on Thursday anymore. It's high school. We've got 5 games coming at you live. Century versus Legacy, Mandan and Minot High, Jamestown versus Minot North, and then a little A and 9-man division as well. Don't forget about those two, but we're switching it up. Thursday football. What do you think about that, Corey?
Yeah, Thursday, it's nice to kind of mix it up every once in a while, I think.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's, because of the school issued break next week, next Thursday and Friday, we kind of move some games around a little bit to make sure they get in. But yeah, it's going to be a good time, and it kind of out of the ordinary a little bit, but something that everybody's going to be able to enjoy another 5-game night from the PSP network.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and you and I are going to get together a few more times, hopefully this year. But right now we're going to pay tribute to the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. God bless our troops. God bless the game of football. And God bless everybody sitting at home tonight for what's going to be a fantastic football game. Number 1, Minot North versus number 4, Devils Lake. Corey, let's take a quick look at your keys to the football game. Right now for Minot North, I like what you said here. You said ball control.
Yep. I think if you're Minot North, I mean, what do you want to do? You know, what's your plan? What's your game plan against a high potent offense like Devils Lake? You want to try whatever you can to make sure that they don't get the football in their hands. And Minot North is a run-first ball club. They like to control the line of scrimmage. They like to run the football, and they like to chew up the clock. And that's one thing Coach Owen, I'm sure, stressed on them again this week. That's something they pride themselves on. So if they want to keep Devils Lake offense on the sideline, they have to be able to take care of the football and control the line of scrimmage.
And for the Devils Lake Firebirds, revenge.
Yeah, we got a little bit revenge game here for Devils Lake. They're riding a 5-game streak. Last time they were on this field last year, Minot North knocked them off in the first round of the playoffs. So there's a little bit of a mindset of a little get back here in this game, and their offense is clicking and firing on all cylinders. And so this is something where Devils Lake wants to maybe get out early and allow that defense to kind of pin their ears back and get after Blickery and that offense of Minot North.
Those keys of the game are brought to you by Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to see our heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. It's on its way, Corey, unfortunately. New installation, upgrades, and all your furnace and AC needs. Again, that's Dylan at Northern Plains Heating and Air, 222-2155. Now, here's a unique stat for everybody at home tonight. The passing leaders in AA football, and look who's at number top, Mr. McIver. It's the one, the only, Mason Palmer for Devils Lake Firebirds.
Yeah, we watched him a little during warm-ups, and he throws a really nice football. I mean, if you give him time in the pocket, or even if he's going to be scrambling, he's going to be throwing that thing around, and so it's really going to be a difficult job here for the Minot North secondary to kind of, one, make sure they cover their receivers for an extended period of time, because we know he likes to get out and kind of scramble, and he's not going to give up on a play. So that really puts some stress on the linebackers and the secondary of Minot North.
And here's some more stats that I found really interesting, because it's the stats for the receiving leaders in AA football, and it's Mason Palmer's twin brother Max Palmer who's leading the league in receiving yards.
Yeah, and he's kind of the leader of that receiving core that work very well with Mason, and they realize when he gets out to scramble, they don't run away from it. They break their routes off, and they come back to him, and they provide a nice target for him, so he can get rid of the football in time. So this is going to be a nice little chess match between the offense of Devils Lake and Zach Rudolph's led defense of Minot North.
Yeah, and a player that was awarded last week Sports Clips MVP from Devils Lake, and a player I want to talk about is Briar Exner. Briar wears number 24. He's a senior running back, and as I was telling you before the game, what's fun to watch about Briar is he's kind of got that never-going-to-stop mentality. You'll see the feet are always chopping. He hits pad level, plows right through you, but he's also one of the best receiving backs in the state. And when Mason kind of runs around Patrick Mahomes-esque looking for trying to make a broken play, a great play, you see Briar Exner go up the sidelines and catch a Hail Mary.
Yeah, he's you can tell that these guys have played a lot of football together. It's some of those intangible things that you don't necessarily can coach. It's just feel and instinct, and the more these guys have played games together, they know what they like to do. And so when you have guys that you can rely on, you know that, hey, this guy's going to run this route if it's a scramble drill, and I know where to throw it. And you got a guy that is just a hard-nosed kid and runs hard, and you want to reward guys like that. And so it's gonna be fun to see these two teams go back and forth.
Well, starting lineups are underway here. You've been listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. When we come back, kickoff from First Western Bank Field right here on PSP Network.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esfold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Thank you for choosing PSP Network's coverage of Friday Night Football here on the PSP Network. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by just a quick button on the subscribe, and also give us a like. Share this feed with friends and family, because tonight is going to be fun. That concludes our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Make sure you check them out with locations in Minot and Bismarck. Best part about it is 15 minutes or less. We are ready for football. Corey, you tightened in here. Let's get this thing going.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
And away we go from First Western Bank Field. Devils Lake will elect to receive. They're in the red helmets, white jerseys with red trim. Bringing it back is Will Heilman, tackled right about the 25-yard line. Minot North is ready to play. Listen to these fans already.
Yeah, I think, and that's something that Minot North's going to have to do. They're going to have to rally to the ball on defense, and it's going to have to be. It's not just going to have to be one or two guys. They're going to have a committee of sentinels that are going to have to come down and tackle the ball carrier here. You can't afford to let Devils Lake kind of get going here.
Well, out trots Mason Palmer, the senior. Excellent baseball player as well, folks. Great pitcher. He's going to have a chance, I'm told, to play collegiately, either baseball, football, or, hey, Corey, maybe both.
Yeah, nowadays it's not uncommon for you see college athletes kind of do dual sports here. So when you have an athlete like that and he wants to play two sports, you go ahead and let him.
Max Palmer's out on the far right. He wears number 3, an excellent target as well. Mason gonna throw it off. A little shovel pass to Will Heilman, gathered up, hit immediately by Jack Juanette. That's gonna be a gain of 1. But there you see, Corey, how they're trying to get one of their better players involved early with Heilman.
Yep, the creativity of play different plays, get your playmakers the ball, get them in space, and you had Exner there with a nice block, but a good pursuit there by Minot North. They're coming down the line of scrimmage and not allowing him to get up the field.
That instant replay is brought to you by Ryan Family Dealership. For 50 years, Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in Western North Dakota. Make sure to check them out. Minot and Williston. Again, the man in motion, Heilman. Palmer in the shotgun. This time he's going to hand off to the big boy, Breyer, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. And Corey, you were talking about this game is going to be one in the trenches, and so far Minot North winning that one.
Yeah, well, Minot North's 2 for 2 now here on the first two defensive plays, and the nice thing there with Exner not allowing him to kind of get going downhill. They met him at the line of scrimmage. They were able to take him out at the wrap up the legs and take him down. Big third down here for Minot North if they want to get off the field.
3rd and 9 right now from the 26-yard line. Palmer rolls out, looking. You see him kind of extend the play there. Finds Cade Fee. Fee's going to pick up the first down and more. And there is the elusiveness from Mason Palmer.
Yeah, he did a great job. Had a nice block there by the running back to kind of allow him to kind of get out of the pocket, and then Fee just kind of sat down in that zone and waited for the pass. He didn't do anything more. He just kind of sat down and kind of worked his way to the sideline. And Palmer was able to spot him, and then he was able to fight. He caught the ball short of the first down, but he was able to fight and get those extra yards for a first down. So that was a huge third down pickup for Devils Lake.
1st and 10 now from the 37-yard line. The first drive for Devils Lake Firebirds. Looking to make some noise here. Mason Palmer back to pass, looking. He's going to have to roll out this time. Able to get it to Breyer Exner. We talked about him in the pregame show. Look at this kid go. Not only can he catch, but he can also move some bodies.
Yeah, that was a great job there. Kind of, again, the sprint out there by Palmer. He just kind of sat down and waited for it. And we had some little over pursuing there from the Minot North defense that allowed him to slip back up the field. And yeah, he must have been watching the game last night and had watched a little Cam Scatterbrew fight through some of those Eagle defenders. So that's kind of the mindset he's got going on right now.
Bam Bam Cam Scatterbrew. We're gonna have to call him Bam Bam Breyer Exner. Mason Palmer now again, another pass. Beautiful job by Cade Fee. Another first down in the second reception of this drive already for Cade Fee.
Yeah, I liked what Palmer did there. He pump faked there to Exner. He got those linebackers to move, and Fee just kind of sat down right there. And they're moving down the field. They've got some nice rhythm here. So now Minot North's got to find a way to kind of break up this rhythm.
Ball is on the 46-yard line. 1st and 10, 9:10 to go here in the first quarter. Thank you for choosing PSP Network. So far, it's been the pass show, and the main player has been Mason Palmer. Palmer He's going to hand off this time to Briar Exner. This kid can run, but this time he's swallowed up by a couple of Sentinel defenders. One of them in there was the big man, number 66, Max Hall, the junior, 5'10", 240.
Yeah, that's a great job there again. Devils Lake they're gonna slam Exner up there and in the line there and just kind of see if they can wear him down. But you can see the success that Devils Lake is having is out in the perimeter. So they run those plays that kind of keep the defense honest, so they're not flying out all the time. But don't be surprised if they don't come back to that after they go outside a few more times.
Christian Dedman wearing number 12 for Minot North, an excellent player. We got a little reverse here. They're going to give it back to Heilman. No dice, says the Sentinels. What a play defensively.
Great job by the defensive end and linebacker on that side of just staying home. And they saw the play go away, but they've been taught. They've seen it on film. When play goes away from you got to stay home and watch, because odds are somebody's coming back your way with the football. So again, Minot North, two really good plays there, back-to-back defensive plays, leads up to a 3rd and long here. They've got to be able to get off the field here.
3rd and 9 from the 44 for the Firebirds from Devils Lake. Trying to keep these 3rd downs manageable, but they've got 9 to go to keep this excellent drive. Keep going. Palmer back to pass. Finds a big man in the middle. We've got Laundry, but it's Cade Fee again. Cade Fee with his 3rd reception already in this young ball game. Laundry is on the field, as Corey pointed out. We'll listen to the referee, see what they got. Did you see, Corey?
I didn't really see any. I didn't see anything there. I just saw the flag. I'm going to make mention, though, I did like the fact that Minot North, they didn't have one guy with his hand on the ground there on the defense. They had 8-9 guys on the line of scrimmage standing up. And that's kind of gives the Devils Lake's offense a different look as far as who's coming on a blitz, who's coming on a pass rush, or who's dropping back into coverage. So I like that little wrinkle that Coach Rudolph has in.
See what our Whitecap official has to say. So it was a penalty against Devils Lake. He forgot to turn on his mic, which is okay. But that'll back it up. So now, instead of 3rd and 9, it's 3rd and 15 from the 49. Devils Lake, we're going to have to race that last play. Mason Palmer, he gets nasty with this, rolls out to the right, looking deep. It's picked off! Interception! Beautiful play by Cole Richardson, and that's the stop that Minot North fans wanted to see.
Yeah, we talked about it in pregame. Minot North has been prone to giving up some big chunk plays or some big plays up back to back, but for some reason their defense has been able to buckle down when they need to, and they get a turnover. So if you want to really kind of swing momentum, they just did that there with that interception.
How about that Minot North defense? But you can't help but think, if you're head coach Todd Lambrick of the Devils Lake Firebirds, you had the 1st down. A simple holding penalty got you back. So then you throw a pick, and that's in these tight football games. Those can come back to haunt you.
Those mistakes early in the first half, people don't really think anything of, but that's something that later on could come back to hurt.
Blickery under center, hands it off quickly to Cooper Chick. That's kind of your guy. You're a big Cooper Chick guy.
I've been impressed with Cooper Chick the last the games that we've done, especially that first game where he really ran the ball well, and this is something there that you're not really used to seeing, that a negative gain for Minot North on a 1st down rushing attempt. So both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Minot North offense first time on the field, so just trying to kind of feel out the defense of Devils Lake, what they could expect here going forward.
Well, Minot North, they've got a plethora of running backs tonight. Cooper Chick gets the starting nod, but we'll see a couple more. Chick this time able to find a hole in that I formation. Does a nice job, gain of 8.
Yeah, that's a good hard run there. Cooper Chick, he's gonna run hard for you. Minot North's going a little hurry up offense here. They're kind of a soft huddle, and they broke right away and got ready to go.
Blickery fumbles the snap. Right under it is Evan Berg. Oofta, that was very close. Let's take another look at that one on Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. But they do that a lot. After they get a good play, they hurry up to the line and get it going.
And it looks like it just, they got them, they hurried up to the line. Blickery just didn't stay in there to get the snap. You knew it was going to be a give to Berg to pick up those 3 yards that he gets all so well. So a little hiccup there for North, and then force the punt here.
6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 4th down and 3, and Minot North sends out the punting unit. This one goes rather deep. Nice punt there by Harrison Schaefer. It's going to roll into the end zone barely. That almost, we got to take another look. That almost went on the right side of the pylon for Minot North fans.
Yeah, that was a good roll. Nice little line drive punt there, and when it hit the turf, it got the nice roll for Minot North and just kind of kept rolling. It was kind of angling to the sideline, but just did kind of sneak in just on the inside of the pylon there. But not the drive you wanted offensively for Minot North, especially coming off that interception like that. But Devils Lake can breathe a sigh of relief a little bit. That turnover didn't cost them too much. And now we've got another chance here. Minot North can maybe make some little adjustments there. Hopefully it had time to do that here before this second drive of Devils Lake.
Mason Palmer, fresh off of that interception, was having a heck of a drive until that turnover. We'll have another chance at it. 1st and 10 from the 20. Palmer, he's going to go deep this time. Beautiful catch. Way to get your feet in, Max. Palmer.
Yeah, that was a nice throw. And Minot North did a nice job defending that. They had linebackers and they had a corner kind of underneath, and they were playing a little bracket zone there on Palmer, and Mason Palmer just recognized that and just dropped it right in the bucket there to his brother Max.
Josiah Jacquinette trying to leap for that one, wasn't able to get it. Tonight's scoreboard is brought to you by BNC National Bank with locations across North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit them online today. That's bnc.bank. Palmer fakes to Exner. Oh, almost threw another interception. Oh, my. Cameron Jez was right there. Might have been looking at the end zone before he got his feet down. Let's take another look at our Ryan Family Dealership.
Yeah, Cameron Jez probably would like another crack at that one because that had 6 points written all over it. If he would have just, it was a little high. He did a great job of going up and getting it. So, Devils Lake dodged a huge bullet there, but that's something that those secondary group of Minot North is kind of seeing there. Mason likes to get the ball out quick if he can, so don't be afraid. They're going to try to jump some of those passes. 2nd and 10
from the 35 for the Firebirds. Mason Palmer, we've got laundry on the field. Let's see what we got here. It's probably a false start the way they're looking.
Yeah, there's a couple guys from Minot North clapping there, so it looks like it's going to be another penalty on Devils Lake.
Yep, false start, so move Devils Lake back 5 yards. Talk a little bit about this senior class for head coach Todd Lambrick. You've got Mason Palmer, Max Palmer, Weston Nelson, Cade Fee, and then the big man that plays running back, Briar Exner. And you talk about building a program. The last 3 years have been fantastic for the Devils Lake Firebirds, but that group right there has a big part of it.
Yeah, that's the group that if this team is going to go far into the playoffs, it's going to be that core that you just named are going to be the guys that lead Devils Lake throughout the playoffs.
2nd and 15, ball's on the 30 right now. In motion is Easton Encinas. Snap is good. Palmer looking. He's good as well. Who else than Will Heilman? He's got his fingers all over this football game. How about Heilman? We saw him in the pregame running routes. Caught one Odell Beckham Jr. style with one hand going on the sideline, and he is another nice piece for this offense.
Yeah, they do a great job. Devils Lake does a great job. They run guys vertically, and they try to clear out that zone underneath, and then Heilman just kind of sneaks in and comes right across the field where there's an open spot there, and he had a missed tackle there by Minot North that allowed him to get some more yards and bring up a much more manageable 3rd down.
3rd and 2 from the 43. Will Heilman's a junior, 6'1", 160 pounds. Palmer joined with Exner in the backfield. Palmer takes a snap. He hands off to Briar. Briar's got a hole here. Watch this kid go. Exner, gimme. Eat. Briar Exner in the house.
Yeah, that was a good run there. He didn't get touched until about the 50-yard line when he got tackled. They did a great job of sealing off the edge there and allowing him to come in right off the hip of that offensive lineman and when he sealed. And when your secondary is making tackles on a guy like that, that's not a good. That's not something you want to see on a regular basis if you're Minot North.
Gavin Tobey was on the tackle there for Minot North, and he is a heck of a linebacker, so to Briar to run him over, that's saying something. 1st and 10 now from the 50. Palmer snaps his hand, say let's go. We got a little triple reverse here. Cade Fee again. And like you said, Corey, this offense that they run is fantastic because there's so much misdirection going on.
Yeah, they love the misdirection stuff. They know that teams are going to look at when they go in motion like that. They figure they're just going to swing it out there and go. And they have Fee coming right underneath now. Twice now they've tried to sneak him back the other way. So great job by Minot North to stay home on that.
2nd down and 10 for the boys in red and white. Palmer sends Exner out into motion. Palmer's going to throw it to Exner. They love this route from Briar. He's going to be tackled. Nice tackle there again by Minot North. That was Gunnar Jost. So a good job by the Sentinels containing, because they love that little curl out for Exner.
Yeah, that was a much better job there by Jost to come up and wrap up and bring down Exner by himself, or had some help there. The nice thing was he didn't allow Exner to kind of break that tackle and get some more yards. So now they're going to, again, not to sound much like a broken record, but they're going to have to get them off the field here and get the ball back.
Gang tackling comes to mind when
Yes,
you're going against a guy like
absolutely.
Exner. 3rd and 5 from the 45. Devils Lake, second time having the football. Threw an interception on the first possession. Palmer, this time, double coverage. Was trying to find Tyson Touche. He's trying to find Cade Fee again, but he was on double coverage. Cade Fee slow to get up, might be just fixing his pads. That brings up 4th and 5. Do you think they'll go for it?
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing on some new personnel. They look like they might be punting there. I think they're thinking we're at midfield here. If we get a good punt here, we can really pin Minot North back in their own territory and maybe force some good field position our way. But we talked about it in pregame. They line up like they're going to go for it every time, and then the quarterback kind of decides at the end there he's going to back up and maybe punt it.
Yeah, not only Mason Palmer, QB1, but he's also punter 1. So here we go. We're going to have a flag. Okay, this has got to, play clock reached 0, so back him up 5, I believe. Delay a game against Devils Lake, so we'll back him up 5. Not really too bad, just giving maybe Mason Palmer a little more room.
I think that's one of those penalties that you don't mind taking, because it gives your punter a better chance of a better angled punt and try to pin him deep.
That moves the ball back to the 50-yard line. 4th and 10. Minot North almost got a block there. Man back is Gavin Toby. They're going to let it roll here, and look at this roll for Devils Lake. Oh, my. They get it down at the 6-yard line. Excellent job by the special teams. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it will be Minot North football here on PSP Network.
Jersey Mike slices your sub right in front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese. It has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh, yeah.
For Danny.
Sorry about that, Jersey Mike's. Minot North hustled on the field, got a play off. Here goes Cooper Chick. Cooper Chick's got space. He's at the 35-40. Cooper Chick, he changes directions like a Jeep man gainer. Look at him go all the way to the 46-yard line. Cooper Chick, the kid's got wheels.
You worry about, I said, we said before the break, Devils Lake did a great job of pinning Minot North back and forcing them to go to the length of the field. What better way? First down play, and you go 40-some yards here, and again, Minot North fashion, they like to get up and hurry up, and they're going to force a timeout.
By the way, I got Jeep Wagoneer in my mind because I was looking at buying one today. So I need more PSP coverage if I'm going to buy one of those. But what an excellent run there by Chick, and you see why Coach Holman decides we're going to start Cooper tonight.
Yeah, again, they like to run the football. They make no bones about it. Everybody in the state knows that they're a run-first ball club. And and if you want to stop the run, that means you're gonna have to come up and fill the box a little bit, which doesn't leave you a whole lot of defenders in the secondary. So if that running back crew of Minot North can get by the first wave, and they get out in space like Cooper Chick did, and then give even more credit to those wide receivers hustling down the field and providing some more blocks, and got him past midfield there, and he was really one more shifty move away from maybe even breaking that all the way to the house.
Yeah, great points, Corey. We got a timeout here. Timeout is brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. They are a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. 2:47 to go here in the first quarter. Ball's on the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Minot North after the rather large Chick run. Blickery very quickly. Hands off to Cooper Chick. Chick trying to find some space. He does again. Nice tackle there by Easton Encinas, but Cooper Chick show starting to heat up.
Yeah, he's just one of those steady runners. You know what you're going to get from him. He's going to slam up there into the line of scrimmage, and then when he feels like he can break it out, he's going to plant his foot and he's going to get downfield. And here we start to see the rotation of running backs for the Minot North.
Blickery gives it to the big fullback. Evan Berg just keeps those feet churning, picks up the first down and more. So the ball was all the way to the 30-yard line. How about Evan Berg?
Yeah, that was something that they wanted to do on that first drive when they fumbled.
They give it to Christian Dedman, who's an outstanding running back. Last year hurt his knee, has been playing a lot of defense this year, which is a very interesting story because if you're the star of the show, like Dedman was last year, you hurt your knee, you make a comeback your senior year, and your head coach Holman says, hey, guess what? We've got a lot of depth at running back. We need you more defensively. So for Christian to accept that and become a great defense player says a lot about his way of looking at life.
Yeah, the hardest thing a player like that is to realize that your role is going to have to shift, especially for your last year, your last year of playing high school football.
The final dance.
Yep. So for him to say, yep, whatever my coach needs, whatever I can do to be a better teammate, a better person to get this ball club successful, that's what I'm going to do. It's just a feather in the cap of the coaching staff, Coach Holman and his coaching staff and the leadership that they provide these young men.
Josiah Jacquinette jumped off sides for Minot North. That'll move him back to the 34-yard line. 2nd and 12, 1:39 to go here in the first quarter. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. Appreciate you joining us here on the PSP Network. Blickery hands off to Dedman again. This time, no, he fakes. He faked us all out. He got it out over to the right side. That's William Bentley. Bentley with room to run and more. How about the fake by Blickery and then the pass?
We often say it. They don't throw a lot, but when they do, it's effective. And you just saw right there how effective it can be. You saw those guys just fly to that supposed ball carrier, and Blickery was able to kind of get out and boot and find his open receiver for a nice and easy pitch and catch for a first down.
No huddle again, and they give it to Christian this time. Didn't get me that time, Holman. I saw the handoff. It's going to be 1:13 and counting here. 2nd down and 5 from the 15. Minot North, no huddle again. Blickery gives it to the big man, Berg. Berg busting ahead, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling. How about Evan Berg? We say this every week. He's kind of the glue for this offense.
We're blessed tonight. We have on both sides, both offenses have really good running backs. And so they're gonna take full advantage of those situations with Exner on for Devil's Lake and Berg and that running back by committee there for Minot North. They're just gonna try to wear down the defenses of the opposing team.
Well, we've got a Devil's Lake Firebird right now down, and they're looking at his right knee. That is Grayson Asselson, the senior 6'1", 305 defensive lineman. We're going to take a short break as they look over Grayson. Hopefully he is okay. We'll be back after a short break right here on PSP.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain. We never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
Good news, Devils Lake fans. Grayson was able to get up and walk under his own power, but he still subs out of the football game. Blickery under center. Dedman dots the eye. They give it to Berg, trying to get ahead here. He's going to be a 2 yards short, so they get it all the way down to the 2. This is the Serve Pro Red Zone. Make sure to check out Serve Pro 24/7 emergency service. Blickery, he's going to go with the QB sneak. Look at the great defensive effort by Will Heilman and company for the Firebirds, and they stopped the sneak. That's the first time I've seen any team do that in a long time.
Yeah, that was a nice job. He was able to spin away, but those other linebackers were able to fill up here, and now it makes down an interesting situation here. We got timeout. Looks like Coach Holman maybe calling timeout to kind of see what we can do here. But I liked what Minot North was doing there. All they were doing was just no huddle. They were running the ball, and they were getting up to the line of scrimmage, trying to see if they could catch Devils Lake off guard. And for Devils Lake credit, they were able to kind of get themselves set too and match that match that effort from Minot North.
Yeah, this Minot North team's being hard on our producer here, Dallas Hansen, with the commercials and the replays. We got to stay on our toes. Speaking of staying on our toes, if you want the best education, let me tell you where to get it. It's at Minot State University. The best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn the degree for the career you desire. With more than 96% of recent Minot State grads employed or continuing their education, MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University, be seen, be heard, be you. And how about the UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot, North Dakota, open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, and Saturday, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packaging and shipping needs. It is now 3rd down and 2 to go for Minot North. Blickery under center, Deadman.ci. Blickery, he's going to give it to the big man, Berg. Did Berg get in? Nobody's given a signal. They do. Touchdown, Sentinels. Berg gets in for 6.
That was a quintessential Minot North drive if I've ever seen. We've seen a lot of those, and that, if somebody wants to know what Minot North offense is like, you just saw it right there from the big run of Chick and the power running from Berg. That's exactly what Minot North wants to do. And we're 23 seconds away from being the end of the first quarter, and Devils Lake has only had the ball twice, and Minot North's only had it 3 times. So it's pretty balanced that way, but the nice thing was Minot North is doing exactly what they want to do. They're taking care of the football, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
Joseph Olsen's extra point is up and good. So your score with 23 seconds to go on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, it is Minot North 7, Devils Lake 0. We're going to take a short break and be back for kickoff here from Minot North.
Hi, Carson.
What's up, guys?
What you doing?
Just helping out with the local food drive, looking for some more donations. What are you guys up to?
We're helping too. Look what we collected.
Well done. That's the spirit.
That's because we're building character.
You guys are characters, all right.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Giving back to the community is one of the guiding principles at First Western Bank.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Well, it was Evan Berg from 2 yards out that got Minot North on the board first here with 23 seconds to go. The fullback who does his job and more getting the score. It's going to be Joseph Olsen kicking off the football to Devils Lake, who's had the football twice, not able to come up with any points, so this high-flying offense has been stabled so far in this one. Return is being brought out. Got a little space here on the outside. Cade Fee, who's had a lot of action on offense, brings it out to the 27-yard line. Great job. Excuse me, that was Colby Dronin-Levitt, and I talked a lot about Dronin-Levitt and how impressed I was last week at St. Mary's, and he's just a kind of a speed guy, but defensively he had a nice interception, and he does a lot of things on both sides of the football.
Yeah, he's a nice little weapon to have, and you can put him on special teams as a return guy, speedster. It looked like he was trying to get around the corner there. Minot North did a good job of kind of bottling him up, but yeah, when you have a guy like that can affect the game on the special teams, but then also can affect the game defensively, it's just another nice little weapon to have.
1st and 10 from the 26. They give it to Exner. He's going to go for a gain of 3. That brings up 2nd and 7. So we've seen a little bit of Exner tonight. It's been a lot of kind of a halfback right up to the midline right, midline left. We've seen one curl route. So what do you see the Firebirds doing this possession to try to get themselves into a scoring?
I think I think they're gonna come back a little with that little misdirection maybe. Don't be surprised if they run that little curl and run like a wheel or vertical route to complement it, pump fake the curl and see if they can get the defense of Minot North to bite on that and then stretch it over the top.
Well, that's the end of one. Your BNC National Bank scoreboard, Sentinel 7, Firebird 0. We'll be back after a short message from our sponsors. Not only do we have tonight's game of Minot North versus Devils Lake, we've also got 4 other games. I know we've got a crew in Bismarck, crew in Dickinson. We've got crews all over the place, and wouldn't be possible without everybody sitting at home tonight. Whether you've liked one of our feeds, subscribe to the PSP Network, just know we appreciate it, and we're looking forward to bringing you more action. Basketball this season. We got volleyball to go still, but Two more weeks of football, so it's been fun, Corey.
It has been, and it's a lot of fun to kind of get out and be a part of the PSP network and call football games. It gives me a little something to do during the fall before basketball starts.
Congratulations on the big job.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. And I know we've got a few of our games broadcast at PSP network, and if my schedule allows, I'll be able to kind of join some of you guys doing some play-by-play for basketball as well.
Palmer back to pass. They had Fee inside. He looks at Briner Exner, but we got a sack lunch brought to you by Minot North High School. What a job by Big 5'5" Ethan Howie.
Yeah, that was a great job there. Howie was a beneficiary of that sack because the secondary linebackers did their job and they covered well. Yeah, there may have been somebody open, but the fact when you start to scramble like that, sometimes the vision gets skewed a little bit because your vision, you're trying to figure out where the defenders are coming, and he just wasn't able to kind of set up and deliver that ball. So great job by Howie to kind of not give up on that and track him down from behind.
The Minot North crowd is starting to come alive here. It's 3rd and 11 on the 24-yard line. You get the feeling, Corey, this is a big, big third down early on for the Firebirds. Palmer sends Heilman in motion. They're going to give it to Exner. Exner's going to have to make a lot of room here. He's going to be stopped by a host of Minot North players. He barely made it back to the line of scrimmage, so 4th down now, 4th and 11, maybe 12 for the Firebirds.
Yeah, I like that play call. They stretch they spread the field a little bit. Obviously, everybody's 3rd and long like that. It's obvious. Everybody's expecting passing situation. And you've got a running back like Exner, 11 yards for him to pick up is not out of the realm of possibility. Great job by Minot North there to come up and gang tackle that one.
Okay, here we go. 4th and 12 from the 24. Looks like Devils Lake might be going for it. Minot North doesn't have anybody back deep yet. Now they're going to send a man back. Palmer this time. He's going to kick this one deep. Beautiful high-flying punt that goes to Gavin Toby. He fumbled the football. Gavin Toby gets on it, but oh my, Minot North caught a break there. Devils Lake had 2 bullets just waiting to hop on that football. Gavin Toby, lucky there.
Yeah, he's very fortunate. Nice high booming kick. Allowed those bullet guys to get down there, and Toby did things right. The only thing you probably like to see him do is maybe stretch those arms out a little bit more, not allow that ball to come close to the helmet and face mask. That could have been very disastrous for Minot North had Devils Lake been able to recover that fumble.
Well, they say football is a game of inches, and that's a prime example right there. Devils Lake was inches, and I mean inches away from getting the football back. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 40 for Minot North High School. Number 1 ranked team in the state. They give it off to Chick. What a nice play inside by Luke Wasness as he was able to gather up Chick before he had any time.
Yeah, that was a great job there. You're going to start to see Devils Lake. They're going to kind of inch those outside linebackers or maybe a safety or a corner coming down to be that extra man in the box because they know that they're going to want to run the ball. They don't want to get Chick going, just like Minot North doesn't want to get Exner going. Devils Lake doesn't want to get Chick going either.
7-0 right now, 10:03 to go before halftime. Blickery out to pass this time, and he's going to be gathered up. Guess who? It's the same guy who just had the last play, Luke Wasness.
Yeah, that was a great job there, Devils Lake. And you probably thinking to yourself there may have been a bonus blocking assignment there on the weak side because I don't think you want to get a guy that much of a free shot at your quarterback. So might have been a missed blocking assignment there for North. And this drive has not gone the way that North wants it to. They're 3rd and extremely long here. They got to get the midfield here to get a first down. So if you're Devils Lake, you're gonna play deep a little bit. You're gonna allow them to throw the ball underneath, and then you just rally to the football.
Luke Wasness, a 6'2" senior, 195, playing out of his mind right now. Blickery, he's gonna keep this one. Tries to go around, but he's hammered out of bounds by Briar Exner. Blickery is rather slow to get up, but what a collision that was by Briar Exner.
Yeah, that was a good job there. Devils Lake defense kind of rose up when they needed to, and this was a drive they needed defensively because Minot North had all the momentum offensively in that first quarter, punching in that touchdown. And here they were able to kind of back them up without any use of a penalty, and they're going to have some excellent field position when they get the ball back.
4th and 20 from the 30. Minot North's going to have to punt this one away. They will. Nice punt by Harrison Schaefer. Takes a Minot North bounce, and it's going to be down at the 42-yard line. And getting to know Coach Holman throughout this year, you and I have covered a lot of Minot North games. He said one thing about Blickery. He's the toughest kid on the team, but that shot from Exner, and as hard as he hit the ground, we could almost hear it up here. There's a difference between tough and getting hit like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a heck of a hit.
There's going to be, that's probably not going to be the last time somebody's going to be hit like that in this game. There's going to be a lot of collisions in this ball game because both teams like that power game when they want to, but Devils Lake has a different an added wrinkle. They can sling that thing out to the perimeter and have their speedsters take care of it.
Ball's on the 42, fresh possession right now for Devils Lake. Palmer gives it right back to Exner. Exner with the green shoes. Look at Palmer out there to block for Exner. You love to see a quarterback block like that. Exner takes advantage and gets a first down.
That's the first big play there for Devils Lake, and like you said, Exner doesn't get the yards he gets unless Mason Palmer takes it upon himself to kind of become the lead blocker of that run play there. So that was a great job by Palmer recognizing that, getting downfield and throwing a couple blocks and getting in the way of some defenders and allowing Exner to pick up some extra yards.
Mason Palmer, not only can he throw a baseball, he can throw a football, and it turns off, he can throw a heck of a block. How about Mason Palmer? We talked about football IQ. You see it firsthand. Ball's on the 44-yard line. Palmer, give it right back to Exner. Why not? He's going to be stuffed this time in on the play. A nice tackle by Tyler Kippen. And this is going to be interesting to see, Corey, because this is the first time in a long time that Minot North is starting to take some hit. If this is a boxing match, they're starting to take some hits.
Yeah, they haven't had a whole lot of teams that have kind of matched them, as far as being physical at the line of scrimmage, moving the ball, so it's going to be interesting to see here how Minot North combats that here a little bit. They're going to be put to the test here tonight, and for the most part, they haven't really backed down from what Devils Lake has been throwing at them.
Well, Briar Albert, one of the offensive linemen for Devils Lake, going against the big Max Hall. Max Hall gets the best of him, but Palmer able to get away from it. He's looking deep, very deep. It's going to be pass interference as he was trying to find, I believe it was his brother, Max Palmer. Let's take another look on our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, I like how Mason kind of stayed in the pocket. He scrambled. He knew he was going to get hit, and when he released that, it was a good job there. Unfortunate for the defender of Minot North. He made some contact with the receiver there, which forced the penalty flag. So a good job there by Minot North, the front four of Minot North, the defensive line, to kind of stay in their lanes, their passing, their rushing lanes. They got to the quarterback when he released, but you just saw the arm strength of Mason there, throwing it 50, almost 40 plus yards downfield in the air and almost for a touchdown. So it's going to be a big first down pickup there for Devils Lake. But I think if you're Minot North, you're going to, that's a penalty that you're okay taking because it was a hustle play, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he got beat and grabbed him and pulled him down. He hustled back there and was trying to break up the penalty, or trying to break up the pass.
Penalty was on Gavin Toby, who's usually a linebacker there, so that Mason Palmer able to take advantage of that mismatch. This time Exner again. He's going to be gobbled up here. Christian Dedman along on that tackle. He's going to go for a gain of 2. But one thing you love to see, and we've got extracurriculars right now. Oh my goodness. You don't think this is a big matchup? You don't think this is 1 versus 4? This is a battle for the West. Wake up.
Yeah, this was you had Devils Lake sideline was cheering, so there might have been a little something extra.
Devils Lake is signaling it's a penalty against Minot North. Let's see what we got here. It's against Minot North, I'm being told. So let's listen in here. Hopefully the White Hat got the mic figured out here. It always helps to hear what the penalty is. Obviously, it was a nice play. I know Dedman and Exner were right next to each other. Unsportsmanlike conduct. We did not catch a number. So that'll be automatic first down. So it was on number 12. So that was on Christian Dedman. As the mic isn't working for our officials, we apologize tonight. So the unsportsmanlike conduct makes it a 1st and 10 all the way down to the 15-yard line for Devils Lake. And Devils Lake has been getting, you think about that holding penalty in the first possession that they convert on the 3rd down, then they throw the pick. Penalty goes their way.
Yeah. This is something Minot North and all. You have back-to-back 15-yard penalties that have allowed this drive to continue. So now Devils Lake has got to take advantage of this.
He did the step over, I'm told, over the tackle, so Dedman stepped over him, and we got another flag here. It's flags galore right now at First Western Bank and Bank Field. False start against Devils Lake, so the Firebirds will back them up 5 after the big penalty. 7:32 to go here in the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC National Bank, your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy with locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit BNC Bank online. That's bnc.bank. If you're ever in Minot, make sure you check out Planet Pizza, the best pizza on the planet. It's Planet Pizza. They've been around for over 25 years. They have the largest laser tag playground in the region, a giant lunch buffet, and they deliver. Call now, 701-852-1700. First and 15, ball's on the 19-yard line. Man in motion is Will Heilman. A dangerous weapon. Mason Palmer now looking. He's going to go to the corner. He's looking for Weston Nelson. Weston Nelson just out of the reach. But how about the time that Mason Palmer had for that play?
Yeah, that was a nice job of the offensive line there to give Mason Palmer some time to get himself set, get his feet set underneath him. Nice ball, and just a little too much oomph there, too much air underneath it. But again, I like to throw. You know, you're basically telling your receiver, head to the back pylon. I'm going to throw it there because you're either going to catch it or it's going to go out of bounds. We're not going to give Minot North a chance to pick this thing off.
Second and 15. I got a kick out of the photographer. He must be from Devil's Lake. Put his hands on his head and yelled, "Oh no!" We got a false start again on Devil's Lake. This time it's going to be wide receiver Max Palmer. And as a wide receiver, they always tell you when they're teaching you how to play wide receiver, look at the football.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what the quarterback's saying. Just look at the ball.
And
you go when the ball's
It was interesting because the play before, Coach Holman was kind of running down the sideline. He must have saw something there that he was Devils Lake offense, whether it was like a penalty or something. So maybe he was seeing that those receivers are getting a little bit of a half a second or a half a step early push off before the ball snaps. So that's something that maybe he's mentioned to the referees to kind of look at, and those are easy ones. If you're an official and the receiver in front of you moves before the ball snap, those are easy penalties to call.
Back him all the way up to the 29, second and 20. Mason Palmer back to pass, looking, throws in the middle. It's a duck. He's trying to get, he threw another pick. He threw another pick to Cole Richardson again. He was trying to get it to Max Palmer, but 2 turnovers already for the great Mason Palmer. And how about the Minot North defense, who's being led tonight by Cole Richardson?
Yeah, that was a great job. Nice little pass rush. You had the defensive end kind of get by the offensive lineman and was able to kind of keep Mason from really stepping into that throw, and he just kind of had to throw it up there. And a great job by Richardson to just kind of play a little center field and just wait for that ball to come into his arm. So. A nice job there. 2 15-yard penalties there for the Minot North defense. But again, when the defense needed to, it rised up and got the turnover they needed.
Richardson, 2 picks tonight. Cooper Chick's got some space. He gets out to the 30. Cooper Chick, look at him go. Fantastic job by Mr. Chick, who got the starting job tonight, and you see why right there.
Yeah, that was a good, that's 2 possessions now that they've had the ball deep in their own end, that Cooper Chick has had a nice first down run to give them some breathing room and get them away from the end zone. And so you're going to probably see another steady dose of that as well.
First down and 10 from the 35. Blickery just feeding it to Chick here. Chick's going to be gathered up there. Good job by the defensive line. Again, on the play was Luke Wasness, who's been playing with his hair on fire tonight for the Firebirds. So we're seeing kind of 2 defensive guys step up for both teams, Luke Wasness, and then how about the play by Cole Richardson? 2 picks in the game already?
Yeah, that's when you never know who's gonna be the guy. You know, we talked about the players to watch and guys to maybe focus on, but there's always that one guy from both teams that's going to be the one that's kind of the X factor and step up.
Blickery fakes, rolls out to the left this time. We got a flag on the play. Incomplete pass. He had Cameron Jez right on the numbers. Jez couldn't come up with it, and we're going to have a holding, I believe, against Minot North.
Yeah, those flags kind of came out at the same time, and typically when your quarterback is scrambling out like that, and sometimes when those defenders get away from those offensive linemen, they kind of maybe could try to reach out, or those defensive linemen are trying to pull away from the blocks, and sometimes those offensive linemen don't disengage a little bit, and so that's exactly kind of what happened. So we got a holding call backing up Minot North.
Don't forget at halftime, folks, we got our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show coming up here in about 5 minutes and 54 seconds. The way Minot North runs the football, it could be here in 20 minutes. They just these games go by rather quick. We want to thank Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for winter. Again, that's Dylan at northernplainsheatingair.com. Also want to thank Ryan Family Dealership for supplying the instant replay. Their commitment and respect for their customers is as strong today as it was 50 years ago. Experience the difference one of their 5 locations in Minot and Bismarck, or shop online at driveryan.com. This time they do a reverse. It's their X Factor, Kyle Hannon. Oh my goodness gracious! Briar Exner met him face to face.
Yeah, you have those linebackers that are just scraping and following the play there, and he kind of he was kind of was able to kind of make that hit because the guy up was able to slow him up and kind of spin him around a little bit, and Axner was able to kind of finish him off here. So another 3rd and long situation here. You know, if you're not, if you don't think you can, if you're Blickery, you don't think you can pick it up with in the air, throwing the ball. You know, tuck the ball in and try to get as many yards as you can because your defense is playing pretty well right now.
Blickery, he's going to go deep to Jacquinette. Josiah, does he come up with it? No, he doesn't. Nice job defensively by Mason Palmer. Hold the phone. We've got Laundry on the field, flag on the play, 2 flags. Officials will come together here. And we shall see as Jacquinette was going up. Defensively, Mason Palmer was guarding him. Let's watch our replay, see if we can see. Blickery going rather deep.
That was, I don't know.
That was close.
It was close. It was kind of a bang bang. We have that nice camera angle there to kind of see what it was, but it could have been. We didn't see that the other arm, the other arm was that wrapped around his waist. Pulling down the other arm. What it was, but you had both teams now have a situation where you were 3rd and long, and then you had the luxury of having a 15-yard pass interference to extend the drive. And Devils Lake was happy because that was going to be, you're going to get off the field and you're going to get the ball in some decent field position.
3rd and 5 from the 41. They give it to Chick. He's still on his feet somehow, some way, gets the first down. The tenacity and the toughness by Cooper Chick. He was never called down and keeps rolling. Let's watch that one again.
Yeah, that was a good run, and everybody kind of stopped. They thought he was down, and yeah, we didn't hear a whistle, and that's a great job by Chick. He didn't hear a whistle either, so he's just going to keep going and pick up that first down. And now we have another Devils Lake player on the field.
Medical team is out on the field as they attend. We cannot see a number, but it is a Devils Lake Firebird player. We're going to take a short break. Some of the messages from one of our favorite sponsors. They're all our favorite, actually.
Finding the right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team.
Today, we deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you.
Apologize to our sponsorship there. Cade Fee was the injured Firebird. And that is not good for an already struggling Devils Lake Firebird offense. Cade Fee has had 5 receptions already on my unofficial stats. An outstanding player. Cade, a 6-foot senior, 205. And you hate to think about what the injury was, but he laid down there for a long time. Maybe concussion, something like that, but we wish the best for Cade Fee. 1st and 10. They bring it out to the 49-yard line, make it 2nd and 7. But how big is it to lose a kid like Cade Fee?
When you lose a weapon like that offensively, that he was the one that kind of did the dirty work for you, then you're going to have to see if there's somebody else that can fill that gap. The nice thing was he was able to kind of get up on his own, kind of get off the field on his own. Granted, he was he was a little gimpy there walking. He had a little hitch in his giddy up there. So hopefully it's something that he can just get out to the sideline and kind of stretch it all a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can have the luxury of maybe kind of resting him in these last 5 minutes before halftime, and then he's got the whole halftime to kind of get things worked out, and so maybe he's going to be ready to go in the second half.
We got a false start here on Minot North, so they'll back him up, and he'll make 2nd and 12 from the 44-yard line. Tyler Kippen for the Minot North Sentinels came up a little gimpy there on his way to the sideline. Jack Juanette on the bottom right of your screen now goes in motion, an X Factor. Blickery, he's going to fake this time, going up the middle. He's looking for Josiah Jack Juanette. Oh, just out of the reach. And what an excellent play, but we've got more flags on the field. It's been a flagathon tonight, Corey.
Yeah, I made a mistake there. I didn't see that all the way through, so I don't know what the flag was going to be on, because I followed the ball like everybody else did. But Jack Juanette just kind of tried to reach out with that one hand, trying to make that nice catch, and Blickery kind of let him just a little too much. It looks like Devils Lake's kind of moving, and so it looks like it's a penalty on Devils Lake. So that's gonna benefit Minot North here a little bit more.
Roughing the passer is the call against the Firebirds. That's going to be a big one. A lot of penalties tonight on both sides of the football, but Devils Lake, seems like right when they get a stop, they get a flag on them, and it helps Minot North a lot here. And when it's a tight football game like this, Corey, you hate to see penalties coming involved, because Devils Lake, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot sometimes.
Yeah, they are, and it's something that hopefully they can make some adjustments at halftime doing.
Cooper Chick with another beautiful run here is going to pick up 8 yards on the carry. Tackled there was made by Briar Exner, and Briar Exner, I know I talked about him being a great running back, but tonight proving his worth in gold here as a linebacker. They're right going to be back on the ball, folks. Sorry for that replay. Blickery's going to hand off to Berg. Berg's going to go up for the first down. Well, it's going to be close. They're going to mark him maybe less than an inch short. What would you say, McIver?
Yeah, I'd say about a half a yard short. But Berg, he just kind of gets behind. Minot North's got a nice, strong offensive line, and Berg is a strong runner, and you've got a whole bunch of beef there that's just in one big scrum, and they're picking up all the yards they can.
Blickery right back to Berg. Berg's going to pick up the first down and more. Look at him still going. Takes down a whole bunch of Firebirds to get him down. That's going to be a first down with 3:44 to go here. Brings it all the way down to close to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And so now Minot North, they're going to take some time here, because again, we got 3.5 minutes left before halftime. They don't want to give Devils Lake the ball back. They want to score with very minimal time left here in this first half. So they're going to take some time here when they need to.
Cooper Chick. No, it's going to be Blickery. Blickery going to give it off here to the right-hand side to William Bentley. Bentley's going to go out of bounds, so the clock will stop, and Bentley get involved on offense.
Yeah, that's again, Minot North, they don't throw it often, but they know when they know when to dial up the pass, and it's usually a play action. It's never really a straight drop back. It's usually play action. They get those defenders to suck in on the run, and Blickery just kind of boots out and finds the first open receiver he can.
Great job by William Bentley the last play. Christian Dedman, he's still going. He's still dragging all the way down to the 5-yard line. Christian Dedman stepping up big tonight for the Sentinels.
Yeah, he's we talked about how his role has switched here his senior year. He's more focused on defense, but he still shows, hey, I'm still a pretty good running back, and just give me the ball in here, and I'll get you in the end zone.
Dedman trying to get in the end zone. Did he? They're going to mark him short. He's going to be a yard short, but Christian Dedman playing excellent tonight. We've got another Firebird down. Oh, no, this is Luke Wasness. Has been playing electric tonight. Luke is down, and he is in some pain, and you hate to see this. Luke having a great standout game defensively. He's down, and the Firebirds are getting bit by the injury bug tonight here in the first half at First Western Bank Field.
Yeah, they're just, again, this is Minot North's MO. They like to control the ball. They like to control the line of scrimmage, and they're going to pound you with the running game. And unfortunately, we've seen it time after time. The defenses that come in, they always kind of get banged up when they do it.
We're going to take a short break as the medical team checks out Luke. We'll be back after a short break.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esfold, working to enhance your everyday life.
Good news, Firebird fans. Luke was able to walk under his own power, so that's very good to see. But he will be missed defensively. And something you mentioned, Corey, why don't you tell that to the people watching?
Well, I was just going to say, with a little over 2 minutes, a little under 3 minutes left, Minot North can punch this thing in, get a score here. They're going to get the ball back to start the second half because they kicked off the Devils Lake to start the game. So if they can get a touchdown here and they can turn around and get the ball back to start the second half and be able to put in another one, that's they go from having a 2-touchdown lead to a 3-touchdown lead before Devils Lake possibly could have a chance to answer.
3rd and 1 right now. Blickery under center. Here comes the sneak. He's a high flyer. Did he make it? Touchdown Sentinels. Devils Lake did good, but it wasn't enough there. Sentinels score on 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a great job, Blickery. He just knows, hey, I just got to get up over. The ball's just got to break the plane. I just got to get up and over. It's a dangerous play because you're sticking that ball out there, and you could have a defender come and knock that thing out before it crosses the plane of the goal line. But a nice job there by North. They were able to move the ball down. Penalties kind of assisted a little bit there, but for the most part, they stuck to their game plan, and they were able to put in another score.
Joseph Nelson now on for the extra point. The hold is good. The kick is barely good. No, it is no good. So the score with 2:17 to go in the first half. Sentinels 13, Firebirds 0. Now, Corey, with all the challenges that Devils Lake has faced, whether it's been penalties, whether it's been injuries, whether it's been 2 turnovers in the first half, everything's kind of going against Devils Lake right now. If you're Coach Lambrick, what are you saying to your squad? They got a chance here still.
There's still an opportunity. There's 2 minutes left. You've got a couple timeouts. Their offense, they have a potent offense. They can move the ball down the field. They give themselves a chance on a good return here. Give a couple shots down the field. Get you past the 50 before you need to use a timeout. 2 minutes is a long time even in high school ball for them to kind of answer and maybe get a score in here before halftime.
Firebirds do have 2 timeouts. Blickery's second home has been the Serve Pro Red Zone. Serve Pro 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Olsen now to kick off. 2:17 to go, and just as my partner tonight, Corey, alluded to, Firebirds offense needs to come alive tonight. Mason Palmer, the outstanding quarterback, has thrown 2 interceptions. It hasn't happened much, but tonight it has. Returning it rather deep is going to be Dronin Levitt. Dronin Levitt brings it out all the way to the 40-yard line, and that's the start you need for the Firebirds.
Yep, that's exactly what they wanted. They needed a good return. They got themselves almost to midfield, and now 1 or 2 plays, and you're past midfield. You're deep in North territory, and you haven't used the time, and you still have 2 timeouts left. So this is not out of the realm of possibility for Devils Lake to answer back with a touchdown going into halftime.
That Dronin Levitt's electric. Anytime he touches the football, he could go the whole way. And you see that on that kickoff.
He was about a broken tackle away from even taking that to the house.
Palmer brings the squad back out on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Firebirds. 2:10, 2 timeouts left. Palmer looking deep. He's going to try to find somebody. It's Encinas, but we got another penalty here, and it's in the area of holding.
Yeah, the North did a great job there. They walked up some linebackers. They're not gonna allow Mason Palmer to kind of sit back and pick them apart. So they're going to force the issue a little bit, and by doing that, you sometimes can catch those offensive linemen off guard, and they're just going to reach out and grab a blitzing linebacker, or if they're going to run a twist game, somebody that's got a free rush at the quarterback. So that's indeed what happened. Devils Lake getting called for a holding penalty. Back them up here, but still 2 minutes left. You got 2 timeouts. I don't see them deviating from any from their playbook at all. They're still going to force the issue, get the ball down the field. Minot North, again, they've been prone to giving up some big plays here, so they've got to buckle down here defensively.
Back all the way to the 29-yard line, 1st and a country mile. Palmer, he's going to hand off to Exner. Excellent play call. Draw sniffed out by Christian Dedman and company, but a great job by Breyer and Dedman. 2 very powerful players meeting at one place.
Yeah, that was a good play call. You're 1st and long. You fake the pass. They tried to do that also. One play, a drive earlier, try to get the North's defense off guard there and catch them off guard. So obviously passing, you're going to spread the field here, and you're going to get your playmakers in space.
Empty set now for Mason Palmer, who brings now Exner into motion to join him in the backfield. Palmer trips right, single to his left. Palmer, he's looking, he's going to have to run this one. Palmer's tackled down. What an excellent pursuit of the football. That was Braxton Thompson with the sack.
Yeah, nice job by Thompson to kind of come off the edge there, get by the offensive lineman, get by that block, and then chase him down from behind. We had a nice pass rush from the front side that got pushed out of the way, that allowed that lane for Palmer to kind of step up. And had he not been able to track him down, Palmer was going to be running for a while there. So that was a great tackle from behind there for Minot North.
3rd and 17 from the 33, 50 seconds and counting. Palmer, just give it back to Exner. Exner's going to try to go. Dedman meets him again. Exner gets by him, but initially, and then he's tackled rather quickly by Max Hall. So Briar Exner getting a lot of touches, but it's been, as of late, you can't help. They're just trying to get him to burn some timeouts here. It's going to be 4th and 17.
Yeah, that was a good timeout call there by Coach Holman, because you looked at the game clock, you look at the play clock. There wasn't a whole lot of difference there. Devils Lake could have very well run the clock almost all the way down to 0 without having to maybe even snap the ball. But so good heads up call there by Coach Holman to call timeout, force Devils Lake to punt. Give yourself a chance to maybe get a decent return, and then who knows what happens. You might be able to put another score on.
That timeout is brought to you by First International Bank and Trust, a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across multiple states that include Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. 37 seconds to go before our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. Ball's on the 33-yard line. Chances are they're going to punt this one, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think, but like you said, they line up in a way where you give Mason Palmer that opportunity, that option. That hey, I think I can pick up this first down. This is a lengthy 4th down. It's 4th and 17. It's probably not in their best interest to try to pick up this first down. Go ahead and punt this thing, pin it deep. At best, you're going to give Minot North maybe 1, maybe 2 possessions before going into halftime.
Palmer will draw back to the punt position. Back deep is Jack Juanette, joined alongside Gavin Toby. Palmer. Punt is off. It's end over end. It's going to go to Toby this time. Picks it up right around the 32-yard line. Toby with some space. Makes a little reversal here. Gavin Toby wasted a little time. 25 seconds left. More flags on the field, folks. More flags. And this is a big one because if it's on Dedman, 2 personal fouls, that's not good.
Yeah. No, I think something needs to be done here at halftime. I think both coaching staffs need to talk to their teams about, hey, this is too big of a game to allow penalties like this, after the play penalties where there could be some little extracurricular, maybe some pushing and shoving or jawing back and forth. That's something that both coaching staffs are going to have to address at halftime and say, hey, we need to clean this thing up, because this is going to be a game that is going to, neither team's going to run away with this thing. Devils Lake, you're going to have a chance to be in this game in the second half. So Minot North has got to clean some things up here at halftime.
So that was a personal foul call against Minot North. And you'll see the referee talking right now to the Minot North players saying, that's enough, guys. Let's get this together. They're talking to both teams, actually. This is big here. The officials are sticking close to players because Minot North's going to need it out. They don't want any more controversial times here early on in the first half. It's a big game. There's been some big moments, big plays, a lot of flags, and some turnovers here. Devils Lake right now finding themselves down in a hole at half. Firebird 0, number 1, Minot North Sentinels 13. We'll be back with the Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show after a short break.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy cooperative, your source for power and information.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town: apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Welcome back to PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. We just missed the Minot dance team doing their halftime show. Appreciate them coming to bring something for the fans. Also, we want to thank Moonlight Home Improvement for the halftime show. Moonlight Home Improvement, they're your home for renovations. Anytime, anywhere, they're a specialist in the Magic City. If you've been putting off that basement, kitchen, bathroom, or any interior renovation, now is the time to book your free estimate with MHI. And hey, listen to this, Corey. You mentioned PSP Network and get up to 10% off your project's invoice. Call Drew now at Magic City Moonlight Home Improvement, 701-721-4612, or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. We've got some moonlight out here at the Magic City Minot North Campus. A beautiful place. This is only the second year they've been hosting varsity games. Then this 2-year program finds themselves ranked number 1 in the state, and right now they're up 13-0 against the Firebirds. What did you see from Minot North in this game?
I saw exactly what we've seen the last, this last couple games that we've done. They were going to run the football. They pride themselves on running the football. They've gotten some nice gains. Cooper Chick has been the electric back for him to pick up some big chunk yards. And then Evan Berg's just been the old reliable, hey, we need 4, I'll get you 4. You need 3, I'll get you 4. So he's getting what he needs to. And Blickery is taking care of the football, and they're throwing the ball when they need to throw the ball, and they're effective when doing it. So offensively, we haven't seen anything different that we haven't seen in the last the prior home games that we've done. Defensively, they're doing the same thing. They're giving up some big plays. Devils Lake's offense is moving the ball down the field, but when they need to and when they have to, their defense has stepped up, and they've benefited from those 2 interceptions. So the game plan for North is pretty much the same. In second half and halftime now, they're going to make some adjustments. I think the biggest thing we're going to see in this second half is I know Coach Holman is going to address this penalty situation that they've had. The false starts, the holdings, that's one thing, but these personal fouls after the plays, unsportsmanlike, these can happen. This is too big of a game. It's too close of a game to have one of those penalties kind of affect what's going to happen here in the second half, because you could potentially see a player disqualified and has to sit out for the the next week's game. So that's something that officials, you don't want to call that. Players and coaches, you don't want to have that happen. So that is definitely something that is being addressed right now, in not just Minot North's locker room, but Devils Lake's as well, because Devils Lake has had some penalties like that. So I think both sides are going to say, hey, we need to clean this thing up here in the second half, because penalties have killed drives for both squads. I talked about it to you during the break, that I think Minot North was pretty happy with the punt return they had there. They had a timeout in their back pocket, a couple plays to get themselves into a scoring opportunity, and a needless personal foul penalty backs them up. So now they have to take a knee and go into halftime. So that kind of maybe killed some opportunity there for Minot North to kind of take advantage of some decent field position.
Well, we saw Coach Holman before even the clock hit 0 of halftime. He went right over to the head official and said, pretty much, we could kind of read lips from up here, said, what's going on out there? Yep. Like, I want to know going into halftime. He's going to try to correct it. And I'm sure the same for head coach Todd Lambrick of Devils Lake. But it is a big game. But like you said, there's not much room for that, because you don't want to miss anymore, especially this close to the postseason. But when you think of the Devils Lake Firebirds in that first half, you've got this high-flying offense that comes in here red hot, playing excellent football. Mason Palmer never throws the ball away. Well, he's got 2 picks in the first half. And then we got to talk about the injuries. I mean, we saw Cade Fee go down, Luke Wasness, 2 others. I mean, the injuries are starting to mount up for Devils Lake.
Yeah, that's something that you don't see a lot in the first couple games of the year early on in the season. But as the season goes on, it starts to get a wear and tear. Some of these guys are playing both ways, and so they don't get a whole lot of breaks. Coaches try to give guys breaks if they can, but when you got players, high caliber players like that need to be on the field to be productive, you run that risk of having an injury. Now they've been fortunate; they've been able to get up and get off the field on their own power. There hasn't been something where we thought, oh, we're not going to see him back here in the second half. I think where the injuries happened, I think giving them a break going into halftime, where the clock situation where it was running down, letting them get into the locker room, letting them rest a little bit, and so they're hopefully fresh to go in the second half. But yeah, that's something that we see a lot of when teams come in to play Minot North. The style of play that Minot North likes is smash mouth, hard nose. We're going to run the ball. We're going to grind it. We're going to tire you out. You're going to get dinged up. You're going to get banged up. But we're going to keep going, and we're going to get as many yards as we can. It's something that we're going to have to watch here in the second half if you're Devils Lake.
You're listening to Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. They're your home renovation specialists in the Magic City. Make sure to call Drew today at 701-721-4612 or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Something we like to do here at PSP Network is we like to honor our student athletes. And each week, each of us media personnel gets to nominate a player of the week. Tonight, Corey, you and I will have a chance to do that next week with our Sports Clips Player of the Game. But this week, the Aggie Foundation brought you the Player of the Week, and that's PSP's Network Player Performance of the Week. Nominees will be posted on our social media each Monday, with the winner announced on Thursday. The Player Performance of the Week is sponsored in part by the Aggie Foundation. Learn more about their charitable work at aggiefoundation.com. I know a lot of people that pay attention to PSP Network like this, Corey, because, hey, guess what? On the social media post, the voting goes by you yourself saying, hey, I believe that Lily Bell should get it. So you write Lily Bell on the Facebook post, and then that's how the voting counts. So it's a way to keep our fans involved. But here it is, our Aggie Foundation Player of the Week.
It's time for this week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. Congratulations to this week's nominees on Big Time Games. The votes are in, and this week's Player Performance of the Week belongs to
passing, and that'll be caught.
Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. And watch for next week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Aggie Foundation is a 501c3. Our mission is to really help out the communities that allow us in for charitable gaming.
We are so thankful for Aggie Foundation for giving us the $2,500.
I can't thank the Aggie Foundation enough
for what they've done.
Aggie Foundation has been just a great partner for our community.
Some of these programs wouldn't be able to continue on without funding from programs like this.
We're always looking for new partners, new communities to be in. If we can make an impact in that community, we will.
So Carson, how do I become a great football player like you?
Well, practice and having a professional team to answer the call and handle anything you throw their way is also important.
Hey Carson, thanks for teaching crew about community banking at First Western. First Western, you can bank on us.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
For those who dream big, Ackerman Estvold is here with the latest tools and innovations to design smart. Our team of architects and engineers carefully plan every step of construction, making it possible to build bold. And most importantly, we know how valuable it is to give back, ensuring our communities continue to thrive for generations to come. That's Ackerman Estvold.
Welcome back to First Western Bank Field here at the beautiful campus of Minot North. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Corey McIver. Minot North right now getting the best of Devil's Lake, 13-0. We just finished listening to our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. Appreciate Drew and everybody at Moonlight Home Improvement coming on board. Right now, we're getting a quick look at what's happening on the field, and we saw both coaches talk to both officials, or all the officials, rather animated, trying to figure out what's going on between these student athletes tonight and how they can clean up the football game. And one way that we just saw was Devils Lake head football coach Todd Lambrick still talking to the officials, saying what's going on. If we're gonna get called, we want them to get called as well. Now you see the Whitecap going over to head coach Jacob Holman, talking to him, explaining to him how they're going to view this football game coming in the second half. I'm guessing we're going to see some pretty quick whistles if it comes down to it.
I'd be willing to bet that, I think that, just like the coaching staffs talk to their players at halftime, the officials get together at halftime and they talk about the first half and how the flow of the game is going, and they're saying, hey, we've thrown a lot of flags here, some personal fouls, some dead ball stuff. We need to do a better job. Maybe, like you said, maybe have a little quicker whistle, and kind of get in the pile and break things up as soon as they can, and get players off the pile, off the ball, and get them in their respective huddles so they can get the ball set and get the next play ready to go.
Well, here we go. Briar Exner, the excellent running back and linebacker, also a kicker. He's going to kick this one deep. It's going to go right over to Gavin Toby. Toby fumbles around with this one, tries to gather it up. He's still on his feet. Going to be tackled. Nice job by the special teams. Brings it out to the 29-yard line. So we talked about defense being a major impact in tonight's football game. And right now, Firebird fans are saying, defense, we need you here more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a nice kickoff. I think Toby was thinking that when that thing hit the turf, it was going to skip up and bounce off to him. But it kind of just died on him, so he had to kind of run up and get it. So a nice kick, but like you said, if there's a time here for the Devils Lake defense to step up, this is it.
Blickery under center. Chick dots the eye. Look at here. Cooper Chick's loose. He goes to the 40, 45. Met massively. Nice tackle there by Easton Encinas, but we've got, what do you know, another flag to kick off the second half. Let's see what they have.
And that was thrown by the back judge. So we're probably gonna get a holding penalty, maybe on Minot North. One of those receivers down the field, kind of blocking for Chick, may have got a hold of a defender of Devils Lake. So that was thrown by the back judge. So he had a good vision on what was going on, and indeed kind of looks like that indeed is going to be the case.
I don't know what I'm more surprised at, Corey. Scooby-Doo being the water boy for Minot North, or the amount of penalties we've seen tonight. It is going to be a holding here against Minot North. It's Halloween night. I knew they were doing trunk or treat here for all the little Halloweeners out here at Minot North campus, going trunk to trunk, getting some candy here. I can't wait. I'm going to be Woody. My young son, Kate, is going to be Buzz. A little Toy Story action. You can't beat that.
Well, no, that's a good one. Anytime you get families to do kind of a group costume like that, it's always kind of a fun thing.
It's going to be handed off here again, this time over to Evan Berg. We've got another penalty, so back-to-back penalties. Flags thrown on our first two plays of the second half. Corey, you're shaking your head, and I mean, we kind of called this. They're going to call it tight.
Yeah, it's just kind of. I mean, and I don't. Hopefully this isn't against Minot North, but they may be. They're looking at it. They may be. If it's on Devil's Lake, you're a possibility of a face mask or something, or potentially a holding penalty on North. Devil's Lake is backing up, so it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Devil's Lake. But yeah, the referees are definitely going to be looking at some things here in the second half. They're going to try to clean this thing up, and they're going to give the opportunity for the players to play. But man, this looks like this was the big 15-yard penalty, face mask penalty. So this really puts Minot North in some good field position. But yeah, you're going to see as much as fans probably aren't too excited about seeing that. You could see the possibility of a lot of flags being thrown here in the second half.
Ball is on the 48, 1st and 10. They get it back out to Cooper Chick. Chick's going to bring it out to the 38-yard line, chased out of bounds by number 52. That is Taylor Longdy, and we're going to have, oh boy, this is not good news for Sentinel fans. Cooper Chick is down on the turf and not getting up, and he's holding his arm as he did go out of bounds very hard. Let's see if we caught that on Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay. We did not, but you can see him holding his right arm, and the coaching staff and the medical staff immediately attending to Cooper Chick, who is off the field just enough so they will play on, but we'll keep an eye on that for everybody listening and watching. Blickery under center. Deadman now checks in. They're going to fake to Deadman. Blickery's going to roll out to the right. He's looking for Josiah. Jack Juanette's got a chance. Oh, he dropped it. He dropped it, and he was close, and he's going to lay on the turf. Defending was Will Heilman, and that was as close as it can get.
Minot North, every once, they'll take shots down the field. It's not going to be, it's not going to be as often as, say, like a Devil's Lake team will, but they're going to take their shots down the field, and they're going to get their playmaker, Jack Annette, on one-on-one, and he, just one of those things where you'd like to see him come down with that football, because that's a shot that they like to take every once in a while, but they don't like to repeat it too much.
3rd and 1, they give it to Evan Berg, the fullback. They pick up the first down, so that'll keep this possession rolling, and we've got another Firebird down on the ground. My goodness, you hate to see it. The amount of injuries we've seen on both sides, but especially Devil's Lake. We are having a look right now at Cooper Chick, the star running back for Minot North. He's now on the bench, still being talked to a trainer. It looks like they're looking at his right wrist. Would you say, Corey?
Yeah, it looked like, that we were fortunate that play was coming at us, so we saw the tackle, and he was brought down hard on the turf, and you don't know if he stuck that hand out that kind of breaks his fall, like most people would do, is they like to put their they want to put their hands on to kind of break their fall a little bit, and whether it was kind of slammed into the turf or something, that's something they're looking at. Nice to see number 74 there, Devil's Lake. He was kind of able to get up and get off the field himself. But yeah, that you're gonna the way, like you said at halftime, the way Minot North likes to play in the style of defense and or offense and the physicalness of where they like to run the ball, they're gonna wear this Devil's Lake defense out.
Isaac Woodhull was the player injured for Devil's Lake. He did jog off the field, so it's good to see for Isaac. 1st and 10 from the 37 for this Sentinel offense. Blickery under center, goes with a hard count. Hands it off to Deadman. Deadman's going to try to go up the middle. Tackle is going to be by Carter Ironheart. So Deadman, who had number 1 duties last season, has got the football a couple times, was on a snap count up to game 5, now finds himself in a pivotal position in the pivotal part of the season.
Yeah, I think this is, you're going to see, now that he's kind of the feature back here now, so he's going to have to, see if he can harken back to his level of play he was last year before the knee injury, but as long as they can get 3-4 yards a carry, they're going to be just fine.
Braxton Thompson gets the end around. We got a flag on the play. Thompson's brought down at the 25-yard line. Corey, you're saying it's going to come back?
Yeah, I think that's going to come back. I think Minot North's going to get called for a hold or a block in the back or some kind of penalty there with a sweep action like that. I think that's going to that was an easy call there. The referee was in the backfield. He saw that thing. He threw it right away. So you're going to see you're going to see a penalty error on Minot North that's going to back them up.
How about the play? They're giving it to Braxton Thompson on the end around the tight end, 6 foot 215, a big kid to bring down, but it is going to be holding. It's going to back Minot North up way back. And you see, I'm not sure if our natural sound caught that, our natural mic caught that, but Minot North fans not very happy. But they will play on. That moves the football back to the 45-yard line. We might have to turn down that natural sound mic a little bit. Trips right, single to the left. Blickery in shotgun. He's going to look to the left. He's going to find Harrison Schaefer, who is gloveless. He's going to almost be brought down by Briar Exner, but says tackled by a host. And how about that play? We've seen a lot of different things Schaefer do this year. He was starting running back for a while, but this time catches a nice little wide out.
Yeah, nice little swing, little bubble screen action there. You had the offensive lineman flying out there, but a great job there by Axner to kind of read that and fight and come up and split the offense there and come up and make that tackle, because that had the makings of having being a big yardage play for him.
From the 35-yard line, they're going to go with a screen. It's up in the air. Oh, my. Devils Lake had a chance for it. What a beautiful play by the man who was just hurt. That's Isaac Woodhull. Great read and great reaction.
Yeah, that's a good play there by Devils Lake. Minot North likes to run that screen game with Berg. A great job by Devils Lake. Those defensive linemen, not very often do they get a free run at the quarterback, and so you tell those defensive linemen, hey, when that happens, stop and go back, because there's probably going to be a screen set up behind you. So a great job there to kind of recognize that and break that up.
4th and 13, Minot North's going to punt. It hits the 1 and goes into the end zone, so Devils Lake catches a break finally, and they will trot on their offense, who has struggled tonight. But, partner, I can't help but think a kid like Mason Palmer, with the moxie and the greatness that comes with him, he's going to have a goldfish-style memory, and he's going to forget about that first half, second half, new life. Our defense just got to stop. 9:53 to go. We're very much in this football game. What do you see, though, from Mason Palmer?
I think you're going to see a lot, not just from Mason Palmer, but just the offense and as a whole. Their playbook is still wide open. They're two-score. It's a two-score ball game. They've shown everybody that they can move the ball down the field. I think Mason's going to do a much better job of taking care of the football here in the second half, and they're going to get themselves back in this ball game.
Briar Exner gets the handoff. Look at him. He picks up the first down and more, and that's what that kid can do. He's the human microwave, can heat up at any time. Good job by Briar Exner.
Yeah, that's a good first down play. That got them, obviously got them the first down, got them big yards there. They've been, in the first half we saw them kind of struggle first, second down, and put them in some third and long situations. So if they can get some positive yards on first down, and then they can kind of have some luxury of kind of opening some things up there in second, third down.
Encinas goes in motion. Palmer hands it right off to Briar Exner again. Exner going right up the gut this time. He picks up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 35-yard line. So a good job here. We're seeing a lot of run game. Did you expect that?
I did. Yeah, I do. I think, yeah, there's still plenty of game left. You don't have to, if you're Devils Lake, you don't have to completely abandon the run and just solely rely on the pass for this next quarter and a half. You still have time to establish the run a little bit, and then you can run some play action stuff with it like they did in the first half.
2nd and 6 right now. Palmer fakes. He's going to give it to Exner. Exner is going to be gobbled up, gain of 1 yard, so that brings up 3rd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Kind of that happy medium area, if you will. I know, Corey, one of your favorite things and my favorite things is keep it 3rd and manageable, and this is manageable. 5 yards.
Yeah. For Devils Lake, absolutely 3rd and 5 manageable. They're probably. I'm not going to go out on I'm not going to go on too much on a limb saying they're in 2-down territory. But if they can get 3-4 yards on here and make it 4th and short, I could see them going for it on 4th down, but they definitely are going to try to stretch the field here on 3rd down.
Max Palmer's out to the right, a player to watch. Mason Palmer steps up to the pocket. He's looking for Max. Instead, he's going to go down. Nice play by Weston Nelson, but oh boy, Max Palmer was wide open deep down the field. He read his twin brother like a book, and he headed it up, but I don't think the way Mason was working his way towards the sidelines could have enough oomph to get it to him.
Yeah, no, I saw that a couple times in the first half, even that Max was able to kind of get behind everybody, and especially it seemed like when Mason was scrambling and everybody was focusing on him, and they kind of forget about the speedster going over the top. So don't be surprised if Mason, they talk about that. Mason maybe tries to take a shot down the field.
1st and 10 from the 47. They give it to Breyer. Breyer's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, gain of 0 yards. Didn't lose any though. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yep, good first down. Just again, you're going to slam that guy up into the line of scrimmage there. He's a hard runner. You want to try to wear down this defensive front of Minot North, just like Minot North's have been wearing your defensive front down. And so that just kind of free that by doing that, you're going to be able to, he's going to be able to maybe break off a decent run up the middle and not have to rely so much on going perimeter.
Max Palmer right now with some last-minute instructions from his brother Mason Palmer. We shall see. 2nd and 10 from the 47. Mason's going to pass. He's back. Looking, debating. Thought about going deep. Instead, he rolls out to his left. Look at the speed from Mason Palmer. Palmer's now going to go deep. He's got a wide-open player down to his knees. What a catch by Easton Encinas.
Yeah, that was a good play. And that was really set up by the good block by number 54, Breyer Albert. He kind of came back and got in the way of that defender that was running Mason down. And this was the play that Devils Lake kind of needed. They needed that big play to kind of give them a chance here now. And now they're almost in the red zone here. You get them a chance to get some points on the board, get something in the end zone here. And now everything's wide open again.
Mason Palmer 1st and 10 right from the 21. Palmer fakes to Exner. He's going to look out to the left, and we're going to have a flag as he was trying to find Max Palmer. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, that penalty was thrown by the umpire. I don't know if he's going to get illegal man downfield for Devils Lake. Those offensive line, that might have been a designed, that might have been a run call in the huddle. And Mason may have the Palmer twins may have seen something there, and he just kind of went on his own. And instead of getting the ball out right away like you can and you're allowed to with those guys getting down the field, he had to pump fake it and bring it back in and then throw it. And then by that time, the offensive linemen were down the field because they thought it was a run play.
It's funny how the RPO started in the NFL, dripped down to the college. Now you see it at the high school level right here with the Firebirds. 1st and 15 from the 25-yard line. Firebirds needing a score here with 6:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Palmer looking deep. He's going to his twin brother, Max Palmer. It's Palmer squared. Mason to Max for a touchdown. Firebirds and a flag on the play. Oh, my. And the Firebirds can't believe it. I can't either, to be frank.
Yeah, they got to be careful. I think Max has got to be a little careful there. I think that, he was a little upset. He catches touch one. Yeah, he kind of spins the ball out of his hand a little bit, and the referee felt that might have been a little extra something there. But, the touchdown does score. Does count, and it just kind of backs you up here on the point after try. So, a good answer touchdown. Or it looks like they're going to assess it on the kickoff and go from there. But a good answer touchdown, a good coming out of halftime. You're going to get yourself here within with the extra point. If you can make it, you're within a touchdown an extra point from taking the lead.
Late substitution here for Devils Lake, trying to get a man on that right end. Mason Palmer for the extra point. Snaps good, holds good, kick is good. So great job there by the Firebirds, able to come out with a little fire to make your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Sentinels 13, Firebirds 7. We'll be back after a short break.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy cooperative, your source for power and information.
Welcome back to First Western Bank Field. My name is Dallas Hansen alongside Corey McIver. If you're just now joining us, you've seen a defensive battle on both sides, but you just missed. It was Mason Palmer to Max Palmer. A nice pass from brother to brother. Twin brothers able to connect to make our BNC National Bank scoreboard. Sentinels 13, Firebirds 7. Firebirds are going to kick the football off. They got a great defensive stand to kick off the second half. You know who else is great? Farsted Oil. Contact Farsted Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, and western Minnesota since 1938 and committed to outstanding customer service and being reliable. That's Farsted Oil. The kick is off, and it's a pooch, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Oh, my goodness. So Minot North's going to have outstanding field position here as the kick goes out on Exner. And Minot North's got to be smiling ear to ear because that's going to help them. They're not going to have that much field to go before pay dirt.
Yeah, I like the idea of maybe trying to catch Minot North off guard on that squib kick. Just unfortunately, he just kicked it a little too hard, and the way it was spinning, it just kept spinning out of bounds. And the gunner on that side just didn't have enough speed to kind of save that thing from going out of bounds. But a good field position from North. I was just going to say, now North really has to do a good job of taking care of the football here. You got 6.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. You want to use all of this 6:24, and you ultimately want to it resulted in a touchdown.
Cooper Chick is back into the football game after his injury. He goes up for a gain of 2. Good to see Mr. Chick back into the football game. That'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the standing Sentinels, who are standing atop of the mountain so far in AA football, number 1, but getting a test here from Devils Lake, who hasn't shown they're scared of anything tonight.
No, they've had their mistakes in the first half, and they cleaned it up, and they had a much better drive there that resulted in the touchdown. So good job here by Devils Lake, but Minot North's got to get going here.
Blickery to Jack Juanette. Nice curl route there by Jack Juanette as he hurdles the bench and gets a first down for the Sentinels. So everybody says Sentinels don't pass. Well, Blickery to Jack Juanette's a great connection for a first down and more.
Yeah, I think you may see them open up a little bit more here with the passing game in the second half, just to kind of keep, spread the Devils Lake out a little bit, and then that will allow the run game to kind of pick itself back up again. So again, North is going a little no huddle, going a little quicker here after a big play.
1st and 10 from the 35. Cooper Chick swallowed up by 2 defenders for the Firebirds. And there's something to be said, Corey, about Devils Lake and their interior defense. The linebacker crew, the defensive line. I mean, I talk about a few of the guys. Isaac Woodhull has been a fantastic player for him. He's a senior, 5'10", 280, a big kid. But there's the linebacker crew has played so well together, maintaining. They know they're going to run the football, but they still have to pay attention to the pass game.
Yeah, they fly to the ball well. They haven't really let Chick get going, and that's the big thing.
This time they give it to the fullback right up the gut there for a gain of 4 yards. That brings 3rd and 3 for the Sentinels. Evan Berg on the carry there. Blickery, who's going to walk over to Coach Holman. And you'll see this, folks, everybody sitting at home watching. Minot North is going to take their time, and the play clock is going to be well below 10.
Oh, absolutely. They do a great job of once they get the lead in the second half, whether it's 1 score, 2 score, whatever, they take their time when they have the ball on the offensive end. They're not going to snap this thing here until it gets close to 10 seconds.
Chick gets the handoff. He's brought down. The Devils Lake Firebirds are jacked up on their sideline. They force another 4th down here. Excellent job by those linebackers we just talked about. One of the players in on the play was Briar Exner, and I mean, talking about an X factor for Exner, it's been defense.
Yeah, we talked about how hard of a runner he is, and he's shown some glimpses of what it's like for him to run the football. But where we've seen him really contribute to this in this football game is on the defensive end.
4th down for the Sentinels. They're going for it. Big moments are born from great opportunities, and we're going to have a great opportunity to call a timeout. Timeout brought to you by First International Bank and Trust. So a timeout with 4:20 to go. We'll take a short break. When we come back, 4th and 4 for the Sentinels.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
That time I was brought to you by First International Bank and Trust, a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at FIBT.com. Corey, partner, it doesn't get much bigger than this.
No, this is a big fourth down play for both sides of the ball. I mean, this is a huge momentum swing for Devils Lake if they can get them to stop.
Blickery's going to run for it. He's on the right side. He's got some space. It's going to come down to a tackle. It's a missed tackle. Exner's going to have to get him, but it's going to be too little too late as Devils Lake allows him to get the first down. And we've got a flag. We've got a flag. This is huge. Who is this going to be on, and what will the call be? It came well after he was tackled.
Yeah, it was after he was tackled. He was out of bounds. You'd like to think if this was going to be against Devils Lake, it's probably a late hit out of bounds. Tack on another 15, but the way these things have been going, you just don't know, and you hate the. That was a good play call by Coach Holman there. He got everybody sucked in there, and then it was just Blickery. Hey, we're going to get you out. It may be a one-man route, and if the guy's open, throw it. But otherwise, it's on you to get these 4 yards. So this is going to be a huge call here on this penalty.
The referees have been huddled together for a rather long moment here, so they are going to move the football back. So that penalty was on Minot North. Referees earning their paycheck tonight. There's been a lot of flags, a lot of hustle. They've done a good job, though, trying to keep this game contained. Excuse me, that's going to be on Devils Lake. So the play is going to be on Devils Lake. Corey, did you catch?
I didn't catch. He called holding, so I don't know if it was. But
okay, it's holding and personal foul. Oh, my. So the personal foul goes against Minot North. The holding call went against Devils Lake. So they're going to back him up to the.
So it was all after. So I think if we unscramble all of this, we had the holding on the defense, and then after the play, after Blickery had picked up the first down, we had the personal foul on Minot North. So we assessed the penalty for Devils Lake. We assessed the penalty for Minot North. Minot North. Long story short, Minot North has the ball 1st and 10.
I love it, Corey. That's a great job. 1st and 10 from the 32. 4:11 to go. Blickery. Under center, Cooperchick.ci. Chick this time is going to go right up midline. Who other than I believe that was Luke Wasness again on the tackle. So Luke, who was injured, coming back into the football game, making an impact already. And we said it when he got hurt. He's a big part of this defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we've said these guys have gone off the field in the first half because of injuries, but the nice thing is they've been able to get themselves back on the field and contribute, because this obviously they know as well as the coaching staff does. This is a big game. This determines the number 1 seed in the West, and this goes a long way for as far as playoff seedings and home field and everything like that.
Ball's on the 30-yard line. Blickery's going to fake this time. Rolls out to his left. Sets up. Looking for Jack Juanette. Josiah. It's out of reach. Almost hit the pylon. So that's 3 times they've been looking for Josiah Jack Juanette throughout the football game, and just nobody home.
Yep. And all 3 times they've gone deep to him. He's been open. He's got himself open. They just can't find a way to get the connection. But I like to throw again. It's to the pylon to where only he can get it. It's not in any danger of getting intercepted. That was the shot that they can take. Still kind of leads up to a 3rd and long situation. You like to think they're probably in 2-down territory here again, depending on how much they can get here on 3rd down.
3rd and 8, ball's on the 31. Blickery sends Hannon in motion. They love to give the reverse, not this time. Actually, they will. They reverse it. A little double reverse to Hannon. Hannon's going to try to pick up the first down. Beautiful open field tackle by the Devils Lake Firebirds. That was Colby Dronin Levitt. So not only can he run, he can tackle.
Yeah, that was a good. I mean, I like the play call North. They did a little misdirection and had it set up nice. But a great job by Devils Lake defense, that linebacking crew that we talked about. They just fly to the ball and were able to kind of force that 4th down. So it looks like Minot North's keeping their offense on the field here, and see what happens.
Dronin Levitt, who stands 5'11", 165 pounds. Don't tell him that. He's playing like he's a middle linebacker. Ray Lewis. Blickery in shotgun formation. Looks to his right. Now he's going to run up center. Blickery's got some space to the 20-15. Oh, my, what a crazy hit here. That's AA football right there. Blickery's hat goes flying, and guess what? The Firebirds gave up a 1st down.
Yeah, that was a huge 3rd down pickup there. Blickery knew that he needed every yard he could, and high school rules, if you lose a helmet, you got to come out of play, so he's going to have to come out for at least the play. And I would see Minot North kind of being a little conventional here and just kind of getting a nice first down play and just kind of run something nice, and then allow Blickery to get back in.
So it looks like quarterback coming in is backup Xander Clean, who we've seen a few times. Clean is a 5'9" sophomore, 140 pounds. A lot of pressure right now on number 14 just to get this snap off. It is first down and 10. Blickery, who's on the sidelines, helmet is on. He's okay. They're just going to hand off to Chick. Chick's going to go up the middle. Another tackle here by Breyer Exner. Also on that was Wasness. So, I mean, getting the handoff. I mean, I've played quarterback a little bit. To get that under center just in the game, in the moment, that's tough.
That's in the situation like that, when you have your backup quarterback come in, he obviously during the week of practice, he probably doesn't get a lot of reps in with the starting offensive line. So that, like you said, that exchange was the big thing. Get the exchange first, and then we'll just get as many yards as we can after that. But keep us the ball and allow Brickley to get back in the game.
Blickery gives it to Chick. Chick picks up a good chunk of yards, getting close to that first down marker. Still going to be third down, but they are in the ServPro red zone here. This is a big third down for both teams. Firebirds looking for another defensive stop, trying to get the lead here. A minute 15. Minot North's had the football a long time here in the second half, but Minot North, kudos to them and Coach Holman. Look at them. There's no like freak outs, no nothing. They're just saying, "Hey boys, let's just play our game."
They are in no sense of urgency whatsoever. Like we said, they're gonna get this thing snapped right around the 10-second mark on the play clock, and they've done a great job of taking care of the football for 6 minutes.
Blickery, he's got some space to the 10. What a great tackle and a good job chasing him down. That was by Jackson Strong, 6'1" senior, 170. When Blickery gets in space, look out.
Yeah, that was a nice run there. I think he was trying to get that guy he kind of led off to get a pass here. He was kind of hoping that guy would have just turned up and his receiver would have just turned up and became a blocker for him. But a great job. But again, what it was even nicer was he stayed in bounds and the clock was running.
So 4-second difference between the play clock and game clock. 13-7. Sentinels looking to capitalize on this lead. It is first and goal. They're going to give it to Dedman. Dedman's got a spot. He reaches. He might have fumbled. What do we got here? Do we have a fumble? Wait and see. The referees are getting together. They're looking. Who's got it? Who doesn't? They're still taking their time. Oh, my.
This is
huge. Huge call.
Obviously, North is signaling touchdown. Devils Lake is saying, "No, he lost the ball going in. We've got the fumble recovery."
Oh, my goodness. The referees are still together. Have yet to see him make a play, either signaling for Devils Lake or signaling touchdown Minot North.
Let's
watch. Oh, that's close. That is close, Corey. Take a look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. They call a touchdown Minot North, so Minot North gets it. And that is extremely close. We'll take another look at another one here. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you look at and all the ball has to do is break the plane of the line, break the plane of the goal line. Did he have control of it as he was going across? Was it moving? That's one of those where you really can't tell, and you just have to hope that the referees had a good look at it. The referees did the right thing. They got together and discussed it, and they feel they made the right call there. So that was obviously a huge momentum swing for both teams. I mean, you talk about a momentum swing for Devils Lake, forcing a turnover like that and getting the ball. Minot North was able to kind of be the beneficiary of the touchdown call there, go back up 2 scores, and now Devils Lake has to play catch up here a little bit here with basically a quarter left.
So Christian Dedman does get the score, and now Minot North will go for 2. In the backfield is Harrison Schaefer. Unsportsmanlike conduct again. I did not catch who that was on. This game has been wild, everybody. This has been a wild football game. 19-7 right now, 12 seconds left in the third quarter on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Blickery is in the backfield with Schaefer. They got Jack Juanette now going in motion. He's on the far right side. Blickery. He's going to fake. Looking for Schaefer. Oh, right out of the hands, and they had a great setup, but not able to get it, and that's Harrison Schaefer. As we look again at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay, you get the feeling when Jack Winnett went in motion, everybody started looking at him and they forgot about number 6.
Yeah, that was good. Good job by Schaefer, kind of snuck out and yeah, he just kind of airmailed that. You know, you had a defender in front, so you had to kind of get it up over the top of him, but it was just a little too much out of the reach there of Schaefer.
Well, tonight's game wouldn't be possible without some of our sponsors. Tonight, one of the main ones, and they've been supplying you the scoreboard here, is BNC National Bank with locations throughout North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit them online today at bnc.bank. And also our timeout sponsors, that's First International Bank and Trust. They've got banks in Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at fibt.com. And how about the replay tonight, which has been huge? We got to watch that Deadman play a couple times. That's by Ryan Family Dealership. The commitment and respect for their customers is as strong today as it was 50 years ago. Experience a difference when you visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston, or shop online at driveryans.com. Corey, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that that unsportsmanlike was against Devil's Lake, so now that moves the kick up a little bit here. So now you have a few choices to make here if you're Minot North. Do you just kick it out of the back of the end zone and give Devil's Lake the ball where it's at, or do you try to kind of pooch it up in the air a little bit and kind of maybe pin them a little bit, but then you also can run the risk of having that thing go out of bounds?
Well, Minot North has an excellent kicker in Joseph Nelson. Nelson will have the honors here, and he will kick it deep into the end zone, so that unsportsmanlike came into play a little bit. They're going to not let Devil's Lake return it, essentially. So out trots the Firebird offense, who we've seen glimmers of hope and we've seen glimmers of turnovers. This is a huge drive. 12 seconds left. You're down 19-7 on the road. What do you see this drive coming out of the Firebirds?
I think you're gonna probably see a little bit of what you've seen prior to this drive. I think they're going to try to maybe air it out a little bit more. Max Palmer has shown he's been able to get behind the defense, and so you have to be aware of that. So I'm going to see them maybe see if they can stretch the field a little bit.
Mason's going to throw outside right away. Good call, partner, to Max Palmer. Look at the shimmy shake. Make him bake. That's Max Palmer, and he gets ridden out of bounds. Very close. He did get the first down, but I was saying it's very close to Deadman tackling him out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a good first down play there. You want to get the ball to your playmakers. Get it to Max Palmer there. Make a guy miss, which he did, and then he just turned up and got the first down. We're able to kind of move the chains, and now we're going to be going here into the fourth quarter with Devil's Lake an opportunity to maybe get a quick score and make it a one-score game again.
What a game it has been from First Western Bank Field. Thank you for choosing us. 1 quarter to go. Will number 1 survive, or will number 4, Devil's Lake, have the comeback of the century? We'll be back with that answer and more. Welcome back to PSP's coverage of Friday Night Football. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. 1 quarter left to go. Don't forget, after the game, we're going to have our planning team financial advisor and Shots Crossroads post-game show, and also our Sports Clips player of the game, and then our Magic City Home Leisure move of the game. Corey McIver is going to be on the field with an interview from the winning coach, and also our Sports Clips MVP. 12 minutes to go, and out trots Mason Palmer, who you get the feeling he was built for moments like this, but time will tell. Didn't play well in the first half, but the second half, he's looked like the Mason Palmer of old. This time he's going to hand off to Briar Exner. Exner's right up the gut. Nice tackle there by Evan Berg, the fullback, but now he's a linebacker for Minot North.
A good first down play there. Devils Lake, they're going to want to keep their running game going, and that sets up their pass play. But so if you can get you get 5 yards on first down, that kind of opens up the playbook. You can go back to the run game, get a little play action, see if Max Palmer can stretch a field here on this one.
2nd and 5 from the 33. Palmer back to pass, looks in the middle, complete. Nice play into Will Heilman. Heilman's down, but that's a first down and plus more. How about the Heilman connection between Palmer?
Yeah, that's been a nice little connection there. Heilman and even Cade Fee in the first half. They've kind of been they've kind of been the ones that have kind of benefited from those receivers stretching the field, and they've just simply come underneath in that little soft zone area and just sat and waited for a pass. So a nice job there by Mason to kind of pump and get those safeties to move and then come back underneath.
Minot North, who's having that bend, don't break mentality. Briar Exner this time with the carry, picks up 3. It'll bring down 2nd and 7, just crossed the 50-yard line. So, as you were talking about, Corey, Minot North's defense, we've got another injury here. Easton Encinas is now limping off the field, putting a lot of weight on that left leg because the right leg is hurting him right now.
Yeah. I think if you're Minot North defense right now, you want Devil's Lake to use as much time on the clock and this drive to put eventually maybe put in a touchdown or points on the board. You don't want them to score early. You want them to use some time here and get a touchdown.
Palmer, who leads Double-A in yards, is going to hand off to Exner this time. Great defensive effort by who other than the Minot North Sentinels. Evan Berg was in there along with a couple others.
Yeah, that was a good job there. I think that had the makings of being a pretty big play there if he would have been able to sneak through that tackle. But now we get a 3rd and long situation. If you're Minot North, get some pressure. If you're going to get pressure on Mason, you've got to be able to stay in the rush lanes. Don't let him get out and scramble because he's shown that he can burn you. He can beat you if he's scrambling out of the pocket.
3rd and 9. Briar Exner comes back and joins Mason Palmer in the backfield. Palmer fakes to Exner. He's chip football, and it's, almost incomplete. But what a great job by the defensive line for the Sentinels to get the hands up.
Yeah, that was a good job. They were coming in a wholesale blitz there, and it was going to be straight man coverage in the secondary. So a great job with that pass rush. Get your hands up in the air, get tipped. Jack Annette was kind of breaking at the ball and it just kind of fell at his feet. You would like to think if that thing hung up a little longer, that was going to be an interception. So a big 4th down play here for both teams really goes a long way for momentum.
4th and 9 from the 49. Exner goes in motion, back to pass. Palmer looking, steps up. He's going to be hit, and he will not get the first down. Minot North rejoices, and the despair has now hit for Devil's Lake as that was a huge play.
Yeah, that was a big 4th down stand by Minot North. Great job by the secondary in coverage. Good rush there by the front 4, but a much better job of breaking off their pass rush the minute Mason started to scramble and run and cross the line of scrimmage. Great job by those guys to recover and come back to make that tackle. It was a 4th and long. He was going to be able to make it. Those linebackers stepped up to kind of close it in a little bit and kind of hem him in. So a good 4-down stand there by Minot North. So now we're kind of back into Minot to North's wheelhouse here. We're going to run the ball and we're going to chew this clock.
Blickery gives it back to Chick. Chick's got some space. He brings it all the way out, picks up a 1st down and more to the 40-yard line. But that player that made the last play, the great tackle, that was Andreas Good of Minot North. I mean, we heard Coach Holman talk about how Andreas was one of the smartest players he's ever coached. He's a phenomenal offensive lineman, but that time you see his defensive lineman prowess come alive.
Yeah, that was a great job. He had a nice pass rush, realized that Mason was going to start the scramble and run, was able to shed the block, and then track him down from behind.
So the Firebirds do have 3 timeouts, 9-10 left here in the football game. They're down 19-7. Blickery under center, Chick dots the I, and he's going to get it this time. Chick picks up 4 yards, and you're starting to see a nice job there by Briar Exner to help out a Minot North player. That was Andreas Good, so a good exchange after a rough first 3 quarters between both these teams. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, good job there. Good first down run. Got some positive yards. Again, North is in no hurry. We're gonna use the play clock here. We're just gonna stay on the ground. As long as we're gaining positive yards, we're just gonna continue to keep the ball on the ground, take care of it, because Devil's Lake is gonna come after, try to strip it out.
Chick this time. He's gonna get they're gonna pass it to Jack Juanette. Oh my God, they fooled me and they fooled Devil's Lake. Jack Juanette takes it in for 6. What a pass from Blickery to Josiah Jack Juanette.
Yeah, I guess 4th time's the charm trying to hook up with that connection. But again, it's the boot play that they've run all the time. It's the fake. Everybody stays put because they think it's a run. And Blickery does a great job of selling it. He hands it off and he just waits. And that's one thing, you try to teach those quarterbacks, you have to be patient on it. How many times they want to just boot out of that thing and get going right away. So he did a great job of selling it. Jack Annette did a good job of selling the block and then getting behind the defense, and this time Blickery finally was able to kind of connect with him.
We almost get the feeling with that time Blickery, rather than overthrowing him, he really made sure he underthrew him, so Jack Annette had a chance with it. Number 41, Joseph Olson, now on for the extra point. Snap's good, holds good, kick is right down Broadway, so that makes our score on the BNC National Bank scoreboard 26-7. Sentinels strike quick. We'll be back when it's Firebirds' ball and their chance to make a comeback.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess, and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
Well, it was a beautiful pass from QB1 for Minot North. That's Blickery to JJ, also known as Josiah Jacquanet. Number 1 scores a beautiful touchdown on the fake out that faked out the announcer tonight. But it did not fake out Minot North, as number 1 puts a little insurance into this lead now in the fourth quarter. 8:18 to go, 26-7. But I will say, Corey, you can't count out a team like Devils Lake, because if there's a team built for a comeback with the playmakers they have, the speed they have, the QB they have, it's got to be Devils Lake. But to Minot North's job, they've done a great job on him defensively.
They forced them to kind of, again, they're kind of like you said, it's a bend no break. They're allowing big plays, but when the defense needs to, they're stepping up and getting stops.
Great job here as Dronan Levitt's got nowhere to go. Football is going to be marked at, I believe, the 25-yard line, so out trots the Firebird offense. 2 turnovers tonight. Haven't really got it going. They've shown signs of the offense they can be, but right now, if you're Coach Lambrick, you got to be hoping, oh my, we've got another player down here for Devils Lake, and the helmet just went off. The injuries are piling up. Coach Lambrick jogging onto the field to make sure. I believe that's Dronan Levitt now hurt. We're going to take a short break, folks, as the medical staff pays attention to the injured Devils Lake Firebird. We'll be right back.
If the job involves dirt, we can tackle it. Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Site preparation, demolition, road building and grade raises, culvert installation, directional drilling, and every kind of dig. No job too big or too small. It's Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Find them online, digitupbackhoe.com, or call 701-722-3315. It's Dig It Up Backhoe.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Well, good news, folks. Dronan Levitt is able to walk under his own power off the football field, as you can see there, number 8. Got tangled up a little bit there on the kick return, and the injury bug biting the Firebirds tonight rather hard, because it's been a lot of injuries tonight, and kudos to the tough kids from Devils Lake, because a lot of them have come back in the football game, still fighting, still showing some heart. But right now, Minot North getting the best of them. It's going to be Mason Palmer in the backfield with Exner. Palmer looks to his right. He's going to be completed to Max Palmer. It's going to be close to a first down. The key is there, partner. He got out of bounds. 8:06, clock stops.
Yeah, a great job there. Good thrown catch. He was able to turn up the field, get out of bounds, stop the clock. We got second and medium. You're going to probably see Minot North maybe be a little on the conservative side defensively here, up a couple scores with 8 minutes left. Again, they're going to force Devils Lake to use a lot of this game clock just to go down and get one touchdown.
Trips right. Lone player is Weston Nelson. Palmer back to pass. He's looking Nelson's way. Instead goes the middle. Met immediately. Beautiful catch though by Max Palmer. Palmer squared. Hits again.
Yep. Good job by Max coming across the middle. You know, as a receiver, knowing you're coming across the middle, you're going to probably take a shot, and he did. And and he was able to hold on to the football. Now he's running. Looks like he's going off the field. Might need a little breather here, but a great job there, Minot North. They allowed the first down. The clock stops just to get the chain set, and the clock's going to get going here. But Minot North is forcing Devils Lake to move down the field, one play at a time, and the clock is the ally for Minot North right now.
Empty tray set right now for Mason Palmer. Drops back to pass. Looks to his left. He's got a wide open player. It's going to be Domingo Enberg. Enberg catches it. Oh my! 88's going to score 6.
That was the one thing. If you're Minot North, that was the one thing you didn't want to have happen. We did, I just said you want to force Devils Lake to use the clock, and here you have a guy come in off the sideline, Domingo Enberg. Catch a touchdown pass. I think he came in because Max Palmer had to go out. So you never know who's going to be the guy that's going to give you the spark. And that was a much needed touchdown, and an extra point gets you within striking distance again. And now you just hope that you can get this extra point, and then you can get your defense to get Minot North off the field and get your offense the ball back.
Enberg, who checks in, 5'11" sophomore, 150 pounds, scores one of the biggest touchdowns for the Firebirds in this football game. Extra point is up. Oh, close to getting blocked, but it goes right down the center to make our BNC National Bank scoreboard 26-14. And Corey, it's kind of funny the way the injury bug has bitten the Firebirds. I know I keep saying that, but it's played a pivotal part in this football game. But then you get a player like Enberg to come in for Max Palmer, who's arguably one of your best wide receivers, and then he makes a huge play.
Yeah, you just never know who the guy's going to be that's going to step up and give you that spark.
We're going to keep it right here as we want to thank a few of our sponsors that made tonight possible. The UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7. And Saturday, 8:30 to 3, the UPS store located in Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packaging and shipping needs. Also, Minot State University, the best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll get the degree for the career you desire. Minot State University, be seen, be heard, be you. And if you're traveling to Minot, make sure you check out Planet Pizza, the best pizza on the planet. They've got the great laser tag playground for the kids. They've also got the giant lunch buffet for everybody and more. They deliver as well. Call now 701-852-1700. And also Northern Plains Heating and Air. Make sure to call Dylan. Winner's on its way, 222-2155. Squib kick picked up by the big man. You love to see it. That looked like a shortstop getting a ground ball in the World Series. That was no Barago. Barago, 5'5", 225. Might be playing for the Yankees next year the way he did that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it wouldn't surprise me if Devils Lake was going to go a little onside, and the Minot North didn't bring the traditional hands team out. They still had their regular kickoff return team. So a good try there, Devils Lake. Minot North's got some good field position here to start this drive.
They hand it off to Chick up the left side. Nice tackle by who other than Briar Exner. Exner is going to be in the nightmares of this tricky season of October because he's been all over the field, and when you look at his hits, he's meeting face-to-face, shoulder pad to shoulder pad with extreme force.
Yeah, I think Cooper Chick isn't used to having somebody meet you, with a hole like that. That the offensive line did a great job at opening up that hole for Chick, and usually he's 7-8 yards down the field before he makes contact. Those linebackers are doing a great job of filling, and the nice thing I like to see is when contacts come, and Chick does a really good job of covering up that football and making sure that thing doesn't squirt out.
Blickery hands off to the fullback Evan Berg for a gain of 4 yards. It brings up a rather short 3rd and 5. So Minot North, and we've got another Firebird down. Minot North's going to have a 3rd and manageable, and this is going to be another injury timeout. We'll take time as well as the medical staff will come out to take a look. We're hoping it's cramps. We'll find out when we come back.
Sund Manufacturing is hiring exceptional welders, carpenters, assembly technicians, and coating technicians. If you're right for Sund, Sund is right for you. Since 1939, we've been making quality equipment and parts for the oil field and beyond. We're world-class, family-owned, and all-American. And as our business grows, we need to grow our team in Newburgh, North Dakota. Sund Manufacturing offers great pay, great benefits, and a great community to raise a family.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car. There are some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond.
At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Well, I've said this one too many times for Devils Lake fans, but the good news is Isaac Woodhull is being jogged off the field. It was cramps, but the Devils Lake Firebirds, the injury is starting to mount up as Woodhull, one of their premier defensive linemen, is going to have to sit out this big 3rd and 5 right now. Football sits on the 48, and you just allowed Minot North to take a lot of time here to huddle up, regain their composure, get the breath under control, and that big offensive line for Minot North is ready to rumble. It's going to be twins left and twins right. Blickery in the backfield. It's going to send Josiah Jacquanet in motion. Blickery, hands off. It's going to be close. He's going to be short, actually. He gave it to the big man back here, Evan Berg. And Corey, when you're thinking, look at this. 2 more players down for Devils Lake. This is incredible. I feel terrible about this.
Yeah, at least they're...
And they're playing hard out there.
Yeah, they're playing hard. They were both able to get up, but yeah, I think it looks like 72 is going to come out the field.
Grayson Asselson,
Woodhull's coming back on, so that's good to see. So he must have, he may have taken a shot somewhere that he just needs to go off onto the sideline and kind of regroup and regather himself a little bit. So big 4th down here. See Minot North stand on offense here. They're going to maybe see if they can get Devils Lake to jump.
4th and 4. Watch the Blickery hard count. Hannon goes in motion. There it is. Blickery looking like Aaron Rodgers in there. And they're going to have a timeout on the field. Timeout with 5:34 and counting. Sentinels 26, Firebirds 14. This is the biggest defensive stand of the game thus far. Are the Firebirds going to blitz, or is Minot North going to throw a wrench into it and do that Josiah Jacquanet post with a fake?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I liked how they kind of lined up, and you could tell they were lining up just to see if Devils Lake was gonna bite on the hard count, and for their credit, they didn't. And so now North, they're talking it over, and it looks like they're sending the punting unit out. I think that was just more or less hey, can we get them to jump and give us a free first down type of thing. So one of those where you run the clock down as much as you can, and then go from there. So they're just gonna line up and punt. They're gonna try to pin Devils Lake deep. They're up 2 scores, 5.5 minutes left, and then again they're gonna try to make Devils Lake use a lot of this clock here to get this 3rd touchdown that they desperately need.
Back deep is Will Heilman. The Firebirds on the official scoreboard it's a fake punt. No, he's just gonna run it. He's going to hit it. Well, Heilman's going to have a chance at this one. He calls a fair catch, kind of, and then he's going to run with it. I don't know. That was a weird one, Corey, and this game gets weirder and weirder as it goes.
Yeah, he did. He at the last minute, you look, he did kind of shoot the hand up. It wasn't a very clean-looking fair catch call, but we made it right. He did kind of at the last second kind of throw his hand up there and then take off. Now, the coaching staff from North is calling for a penalty, which they did end up throwing the flag because he did signal fair catch, and then he did take off running after he did catch, and that's something that you can't do, because once that punt coverage team sees you signal fair catch, they're going to let up and they're not going to come after the tackle you. So once you take off running after you signal fair catch, it's going to be a penalty. So.
Yeah, you saw one of the bullets for Minot North literally stopped dead in his tracks, and then Heilman took off. So they're going to move the football back here. Tougher time, and on the official scoreboard, we do have Firebirds have 3 timeouts left. Sentinels have 2. So if you're a Devils Lake fan, that's good news. Minot North going to do their best here to contain this explosive plays that we have seen from Devils Lake. And Enberg was the last one who caught a 40-yard bomb from Mason Palmer. Good news is Max Palmer's back into the ballgame now. So no Enberg, just Max. We're going to have 2 to the left, 2 to the right. In the backfield is Briar Exner. Mason Palmer, does he have a comeback left in him? He's going to send Weston Nelson in motion. They're going to give it to Exner. Exner right up the middle. He's got some space. Breyer's got some room, brings it out to the 34-yard line, and a great job to start the drive for the Firebirds.
And if you're Devils Lake, that's a prime example of why you don't abandon the run late, early in being down multiple scores. You have an explosive runner like him. You want to still utilize him, and that was a big first down for Devils Lake.
Again, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Exner back there with Mason Palmer, QB1. Fakes this time. Palmer going to throw deep. Nice connection to Will Heilman, who just got the penalty, but he gets the first down and more. Brings it out to the 45. Firebirds heating up. We've got plagues on the field. Big surprise. Flag on the play, and it's in the backfield of holding. Let's watch here on our Ryan Family Dealership Instant Replay if we can see the hold.
It might have been maybe the left tackle. It looks like the defensive lineman kind of shot the gap to his right there, and he kind of stuck his arm out. Looks like he might have kind of held on to him a little longer so he wouldn't have a free rush at the quarterback. But that was 2 big explosive plays there for Devils Lake. Almost got him to midfield, and again, the penalties kind of have come back to bite him here a little bit, but Minot North may have to clean up a little bit defensively here.
Trips right, 1 to the left. Trying to run a screen here. Nobody home. Mason Palmer's going to have to roll to his right. Got a wide open player. And who other? Inberg, the unsung hero for Devils Lake. How about that play?
Yeah, that was a good little play. You talked about it before the game, how Exner likes to kind of break off his route and kind of run up the sideline, and that's exactly what Edberg kind of did. He kind of floated up the sideline, and for Mason, he doesn't really care who it is. He knows somebody's going up the sideline when he starts to scramble.
1st and 10 now from the 47. Trips left. Inberg on the far right. Palmer looking. He's going to have to run up the middle. Mason still behind the line of scrimmage. He can throw it. What a spin move from Mason Palmer. Oh, my. Spin cycle again. How about this play? This kid's got moxie. Picks up a first down and more. They're not done yet.
Yeah, that was a great job. I liked how he scrambled, but then he had the wherewithal to realize, hey, I got to stay behind the line of scrimmage because the guys are going to break off their routes and somebody might get open. But as soon as that happened, as soon as he realized that nobody was going to get open, now I got to take it upon myself to get the first down, which he did.
Just under 4 minutes left here. Ball's on the 42-yard line. Palmer back to pass, looking, debating. He's going to roll out to the right. He's going to be behind the line of scrimmage. Throws it, almost picked off. Nice play by that was, I believe, Cameron Jez that time, number 5 for Minot North. So a good defensive stand, but feels like we're on the stadium side. Minot North fans just hold their breath when Palmer leaks out.
Yeah, I think if you're North, you've got to clean up that pass rush a little bit. I think everybody's kind of collapsing down in the pocket, and nobody really maintains that outside contain. And Mason Palmer's able to kind of get out and kind of scramble, and then he's beating you with his legs, he's beating you with the arms, and that was just a great job of Cameron Jez just sticking up the hand and knocking that thing down. Otherwise, that was going to be another big completion.
2nd and 10 from the 42. We've got 4 wide receivers on the right. We're going to have a timeout on the field. Timeout's going to go to Devils Lake. Head coach Todd Lambert didn't like what he saw. We're going to take a short break here and come back with more football here on PSP Network.
Magic City Home Leisure is excited to introduce the fabulous addition of the Master Spas line, including the phenomenal Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools, swim spas, and saunas. Come see for yourself the outstanding lineup of Master Spas, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas, exclusively at Magic City Home Leisure.
A lot of great games going around this great state of North Dakota. Thank you for choosing PSP Network's coverage of Minot North taking on Devils Lake. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. It's been a fun football game. 3:48 to go. Will number 1 hold on, or does Devils Lake got a few tricks up their sleeve yet? It's going to be Mason Palmer. Trips right, single to his left. It's Ingberg on the far left. Minot North showing blitz. They will. Palmer's going to keep it himself. Mason, that is, makes one man miss. And then look at the tenacity by this defense. Christian Dedman, among a few others. How about the celebration as well by Max Hall?
Yeah, that was a great job. Design, draw, and it played out perfect for Devils Lake as North was cheating up there, looking to come on a blitz. trying to time the snap, and they were off. So Palmer knew the blitz was coming, and so he did a great job of stepping up. But that was a nice job of North to kind of swarm to the ball there. They just got to be a little careful once the whistle blows to let off, because they don't want to pick up a needless, foolish penalty here going in the last 3 minutes of the game.
3rd and 10 from the 42. Palmer under heavy pressure. Deadman right there in his face. He's got a man deep. Can he come up with it? He can. It's going to be a touchdown. Palmer squared. Hits again. Max Palmer catches it from his twin brother Mason for 6. Oh my goodness, this game is insane.
That was probably the last thing North wanted to have happen there. You almost look at the defender. I can't really see the number. He just kind of gave up on it for some reason. The ball was kind of right over the head. Stick the hand up a little. Try to make it a little bit more difficult. The last thing you wanted to do was allow Devils Lake to score a touchdown, possibly on an extra point. Now you know the onside kick is coming, so you really have to make sure you take care of the football here on out.
Mason Palmer to kick the extra point. And it's blocked! It's blocked. Nice play by the special teams making special plays. I could not get a number, but Minot North gets a huge stop. Let's take a look on our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, that was a huge block. I mean, it makes it now that a touchdown only ties the game. Extra point, they got to convert the extra point for the win, but a great pursuit there, great rush there by Minot North. Looks like number 55, I think.
Ethan Howie
is our culprit there for the block. So if you're North, you got to get the hands team out there, because the onside kick is coming, and Devils Lake, you got to make sure you kick this thing right and see if you can ricochet it off something. But the big thing for North, if the ball comes to you, you just got to fall down on it and protect it at all costs, and don't let that thing squirt out, because this thing is going to come down to you especially in high school now, you can really be creative on these onside kicks, and you never know which directions it's coming. So Minot North has to be ready for everything right now.
2:58 and counting. The clock is stopped. 26-20. It's been the Firebirds' comeback that has helped this scoreboard become a little more closer. Now on to kick. This is interesting. They're switching up the kickers. Luke Wasness, who's been the hero tonight defensively, he's joined alongside Briar Exner. Wasness, actually, he's not going to kick. He'll be Briar Exner. Briar wearing the Kobe cleats, the lime green Grinch shoes. Can he be the Grinch that stole this game from Minot North? He's going to kick it deep. Minot North's going to let it go out of the back of the end zone, so that sets up 2:58 to go in the ball game. Can Blickery and company seal this one?
Now this is going to be interesting. That North is going to want to run the football. Devils Lake is, if they want to put North in some obviously passing situations, they're going to have to come up here on first, second down, load the box up a little bit, and you just have to be careful. You got to make sure you tackle. If you're Minot North, you got to make sure you take care of the football. The contact comes, you cover that thing up, and you don't try to fight for extra yards. You just go down and keep this clock running. Devils Lake is going to use their timeouts when they need it, but you got to take care of the football.
Blickery gives it to Chick. Chick's got some space, gets the first down and more, picks up a 12-yard gain, and it's been the Cooper Chick show. When they've needed a play, he's given it.
Yeah, the first half when they were backed up after the punt, he had the big first down run that got him past midfield, and this was a big first down run for him. On this drive where they want to take care of the ball and use the clock. Devils Lake is doing a great job. They're going to save these timeouts and use them when they absolutely have to. But North is in no hurry. They're going to make sure they might snap this thing. They might snap this thing when the play clock hits the 1.
2:30 and counting. Football's at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the number 1 ranked team in the state. That's Minot North. They're going to stop him this time. Cooper Chick's going to be tackled for a loss of 2. We've got another, what do you see, Corey?
Timeout Devils Lake.
Timeout Devils Lake. We're going to keep it right here. Let's watch that defensive effort by the Firebirds. Really got inside. Great pull and a good job by that linebacker crew. But, Corey, you've got now 1 timeout left, 2:17 to go. There's no 2-minute warning, obviously.
Yep.
But you're down 6. You got to start going for the strips. Minot North is not going to pass the football at all, I don't think.
No,
But you and I have seen a lot of Minot North games. Be expecting something tricky with a reverse or maybe a Blickery keep somehow, some way, because when Blickery bounces outside, he's dangerous. We've seen that. So it's kind of a tough situation for Devils Lake because they've got to kind of tell their linebackers, stay true, stay safe. Don't just go blitzing in there because they throw a wrinkle and everything.
Yeah, I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see Devils Lake load the box up here on second down, because you know North is going to come out and they're just going to turn. They're either going to give the ball to Berg or they're going to give it to Cooper, and so. When does Devils Lake burn this last time out is going to be probably the big question here in this next 50 seconds.
2nd and 12 for Minot North. Blickery hands off to, no, he keeps it this time, just like we talked about. He's going to go up the right side. Blickery brings it out. He's going to gain 1 yard, so great job by Devils Lake staying safe and staying true. Coach Lambrecht's going to use his timeout here. Comes at 2:07. That brings up the big one. 3rd and 9 right now for Devils Lake, and we're going to keep it right here. And this game we knew was going to be fun. Number 1 versus number 4. Minot North comes out of the gate, gets 2 turnovers right off the bat. They've been leading the whole game ever since kickoff. But it's been the stands by Devils Lake as of late, specifically when Minot North had a chance to go up, 21-0 when they got the second half kick. So Devils Lake defense does have that tenacity, but does Minot North have that final push because they've got one of the best, if not the best, offensive lines in AA football?
Absolutely, yeah. And this is it's a 3rd down. We just got done speculating, hey, they're going to run the ball, and they ended up doing a boot, and it was probably, again, it was probably a one-man route, and otherwise it was going to be Blickery, just get as many as you can. Stay in bounds, force Devils Lake to use their last time out. So now North can run the football, and they can use some clock here. And 40 seconds after, if you can get this thing under a minute, and let the game, and once they're not going to start you don't start the play clock until you give it a couple seconds. You can run this thing down on 4th down and then call a timeout with not a whole lot of time left, and then punt the thing deep and force Devils Lake to go the length of the field.
Split back formation, Twins left. Blickery sends Hannon in motion. This kid loves reverses. They fake it to him. Blickery's going to keep it. Great job filling by the Devils Lake Firebirds. Did he get it? He's going to be close. He's going to be marked a yard short, so now it's decision time for Minot North. 1:55 and counting. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Okay, so now the play clock's running. There's 36 seconds on the play clock, 1:47. So you can run this thing down to about 1:10 before you really need to even do anything, snap the football. So you're going to see Minot North is going to take this thing all the way down. I would see maybe Coach Holman, going over to the official and saying, hey, when the play clock gets to about 2 or 1, we're going to call timeout maybe, or we're just going to let this thing go. You might even see Minot North line up and see if Devils Lake jumping off sides, but they're coming out here and they're going to see what happens.
What a special moment. The 2 Holman boys talking, father and son. They get a tackle. Did they stop him? They might have just stopped him. Oh my goodness, Blickery. Did he get stopped? The referees are saying he's short. It was the play of the year from Devils Lake, and who other? Luke Wasness hits Blickery behind the line of scrimmage. Oh my, the drama, the intensity. This game has it all. Take another look at the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. It's QB sneak. This has worked all year, but they met Luke Wasness, and Wasness tackled him like pushing a straw bale up onto the old barn there and tossed him back.
Yeah, I think you would like to have seen Blickery just kind of stay behind that offensive line. I mean, you're 4th and 1. All you got to do is just follow the offensive line and fall down, and you got the first down.
Trips right. Mason Palmer in the backfield. He's going to throw an out route to Briar Exner. Exner, he's going to try to get out of bounds. Picks up darn near the first down. 1:06 left. Let's see where the official marked him way short. That's actually only a gain of 5, so 2nd and 5 now. Ball is on the 37-yard line, so interesting to see. Exner must have stepped out way early. We couldn't see. We're on the far side. Enberg, the unsung hero, is at the slot. He wears number 88. Player to watch is Max Palmer on the bottom left. Mason Palmer, QB1. Looks nice. Absolute fantastic catch by Weston Nelson. Firebirds are going to have to get onto the line here. Well, the clock will stop with the first down. 1 minute and 1 second left here in what has been a fantastic game from Western Bank and Field. And they gave him the first down. So now it's on the 32. Trips left. Briar Exner joining the backfield with his quarterback, Mason Palmer. Palmer back to pass, looking. He's going to go up the middle. This is a big one, incomplete. How about the play defensively from Evan Berg, the fullback? Playing great defense against Will Heilman, and Heilman's got the fantastic hands, but not able to come up with that one.
Yeah, that was a great job by Berg to kind of break that thing up. That, you know, and Heilman actually had a couple chances after it was after it was tipped out of his hands, and then to almost come down with it. So great job by Berg. You know, Minot North's going to have to do it again here. They've given up some big pass plays here the last couple drives that resulted in touchdowns. They've got to do a better job of getting a decent pass rush.
2nd and 10 from the 32. Palmer, pump fake, rolls out to his right, creates plays like none other, throws it deep. It's going to be completed. They got it. Complete pass to Weston Nelson. Firebirds running up to the line. It's mass chaos here at Minot North. Palmer directing traffic in there. 1st down and 10. They've got a ways to go before 1st and goal, exactly 2 yards. And we're going to have a stoppage here. A couple of Minot North. Let's take one more look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. And you see Palmer, Mason that is, extending plays. And that's some senior leadership just showing the wheels there. No, not everybody can do this.
Yeah, that was a great job of keeping the play alive. Even better job by the receiver to come back and then, you know, make a nice play on the ball and catch. And this is something here now that, you know, the defense has really got to do a good job. They've got to keep Devils Lake in bounds. They can't let Devils Lake get out of bounds.
32 seconds, 1st and 10. And we've seen a plethora of players during that quick break here for Devils Lake getting stretched out. It's been a hard-fought battle here from First Western Bank Field. Thank you for choosing PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. They're going to talk about this one for a long time here in the Magic City. Devils Lake on revenge. Last year lost in the 1st round to Minot North. Looking at knock off number 1. They've got 34 seconds to do so. Referee says play on, boys. Mason Palmer. Shotgun formation. Tight trips left. Palmer throws to the right. Close, but he's going to go out of bounds. What a beautiful play and more. Completes it to Weston Nelson, who's been his favorite target on this drive.
That was a good job of Mason. Just stay in the pocket, wait, let that passing combination, let that route open up, and a nice job by the receiver to get himself. And they were fighting. The North defender was fighting to keep him in bounds, but he did a great job of getting out of bounds. And now we got 1st and goal here.
1st and goal from the Serve Pro red zone. Twins right, Twins left. Briar Exner, you got to think he might have a chance at this one. 28 seconds to go. Palmer drops back to pass. Looking, throws out to the left. It's almost picked off. Oh, my goodness gracious. He was looking for Max Palmer. What a read that was. Could have had the game. It was Gunnar Jost. Almost sealed it for Minot North.
Yeah, that was a good break on the ball. Obviously, when you're going to look for your playmaker, you're going to look for Max Palmer. Did a great job of breaking up on it, and that definitely could have sealed the deal for North, but they've got to do this a couple more times here.
The fans are on their feet. It's loud and they're proud. 24 seconds left in the football game. Devils Lake down by 6. Palmer, he's going to keep it himself, and it's a scrum for it. Did he get the 1st down? I don't think so. They're going to say Minot North football. The Sentinels just won a huge game. What a play. Devils Lake played their hearts out, but it won't be enough. Number 1 will maintain number 1. What a ball game and what a defensive stand by Coach Holman's defense.
You wanted a game. If you wanted a game of the night, this is the game of the night. This might have been the game of the season right now for this one. You had both defenses step up on 4th down situations when the game was on the line and step up for their teams. This was a heck of a ball game. A nice job by Devils Lake to get themselves in a position to do something, but even a better job of Minot North's defense to kind of stop that thing. They could have, the nice thing for Devils Lake was it was 4th and 1. They could have got a 1st down they didn't need to get the touchdown. They got the 1st down, they just needed to get the 1st down. A good job there by Minot North. I like the play call by Devils Lake. Everybody's kind of thinking it's going to be a pass. It's going to be, Mason Palmer's going to throw the ball, put the thing in the air. A good idea, a good distraction there, good change of pace there by Devils Lake to see if Palmer couldn't kind of sneak that one in himself. But a nice job there by Minot North.
We've got another flag here. We've got another flag, and I wonder who this is going to be on. The back judge just threw a flag, and I believe he signaled for unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's see here. This could be huge, pivotal, because guess what? If that's on Max Palmer, he might be done for the next game. I could be wrong, folks. I could be wrong. We can't hear up here, but Max Palmer just went off the field. Yes, it was. So that was 2 personal fouls, unsportsmanlike conducts on Max Palmer. Okay, we're double checking here. It was maybe his first, but he's going to be subbed out of the football game. But what a time it was at First Western Bank Field. My goodness, Corey McIver's gathering his things. He's going to talk to Coach Holman and our Sports Clips player of the game. But we've got a final on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. The number 1 team maintains Sentinels 26, Firebirds 20. We'll be back with our post-game show brought to you by Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shots Crossroads Field to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a Fuel Tracker card from any of our C-Store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the Fuel Tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shots Crossroads.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair. Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Poise. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here. That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Since 2003, the architects and engineers at Ackerman Esvold have been enhancing everyday life. From response times to commute times, we've helped create critical infrastructure, enhancing highway safety, flood protection, and public education. And we're no stranger to enhancing fun, family outings, and even game time. Ackerman Esvold, working to enhance your everyday life.
What a ball game here on PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hansen. You get a good look at Corey McIver here on the field. We're going to have a talk with Coach Holman and also our Sports Clips player of the game. Minot North, after a great defensive stand on the 2-yard line, Devils Lake elected to go for a quarterback keeper to Mason Palmer. He got stopped short. He could have got a first down if he would have got to the 2. It would have been a wide-open football game from there on, but he got stopped, so we don't even need to think about that. What a fantastic game this was. Both teams played extremely hard. We saw a lot of injuries from both squads, a lot from Devils Lake, but Devils Lake, kudos to their team, and kudos to head coach Todd Lambrick. Never gave up, showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of effort, and they will be tough come playoffs. So the West, where was it won? It was won at First Western Bank Field. And Minot North will be the 1 seed going into playoffs here. Devils Lake, I mean, from what we saw tonight for being the 4th-ranked team, they gave number 1 a run for all their money and more. Let's get into our post-game show brought to you by Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for business or farm success, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here for you, and they're here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit them online at planningteam.com. Planning Team Financial Advisors, helping clients work toward financial freedom, and also Shots Crossroads, your post-game headquarters. Order online today at shotscrossroads.com. Shots Crossroads, get filled up on their delicious menu that includes the famous number 99. Order online today at shotscrossroads.com. Team buses are always welcome. Well, the first half looked a little rough for the Devils Lake Firebirds. Mason Palmer threw 2 interceptions, and they would not be done after that, though. Palmer came back with vengeance in the second half, threw 3 touchdowns, one of them being to the standout super sophomore, we're going to call him, Domingo Enberg. It's 5'11", 150 pounds, caught a fade route that went for 45 yards, according to my unofficial results. But then it was the Palmer squared show. Mason Palmer to his twin brother, Max Palmer, 3 times. 3 times they hooked up, one time in the early on in the third quarter, then twice in the fourth. So what a play by Mason and Max Palmer. Max was battling through a little injuries here late in the football game, but Weston Nelson, another great wide receiver for Devils Lake, had multiple receptions, especially on that last drive when they were looking for the win. Will Heilman played excellent, another weapon that we're going to hear a lot more from. If I was to be a betting man, I would guess this Devils Lake team is going to have a great chance in playoffs. But a player that did not get to play too much, got injured, was Cade Fee, the outstanding 6-foot senior. He went out with an injury. We didn't see much from him. The same with Colby Dronen-Levitt, the outstanding senior, 5'11", a lot of speed. And then Easton Encinas, he got hurt as well. So a lot of injuries. So Briar Exner played so well, and Luke Wasness played so well, the 2 linebackers for Devils Lake Firebirds. You knew in our pregame talk how Corey and I were mentioning the linebackers are going to have to stay home, and they're going to have to really defend Blickery. And Luke Wasness and Briar Exner did all of that and more, gave their team a chance at the end, but Devils Lake falls short. How about number 1? Minot North gets a 6-point victory at home. They took the lead from the beginning, and they never gave it up. Led by quite a few points tonight. You got to talk about Josiah Jacquinette. Was intended to receive a pass 5 times. Finally got it on that 5th time. The 5th time was a charm for the Sentinel offense. Jacquinette was able to score, and it was a Blickery throw. And we talked about how Jacquinette and Blickery are this really nice combo, 1-2 punch, if you will. Blickery kept overthrowing him under some pressure, but then he underthrew him, and Jacquinette was able to gather that up, and it was all the play action. But one of the players that really stepped up well tonight for the Sentinels was the starting running back, number 7, Cooper Chick. Went throughout the football game, getting carry after carry after carry. Just a workhorse tonight for the Sentinels. Able to pick up first downs when they needed it. Really held on the football well. That's something we need to talk about, is Sentinels did not have one fumble tonight, and the way they took care of the football, I cannot help but think that's how they won this football game. Evan Berg needs some recognition, the outstanding fullback senior, 5'10", 215. Whenever they needed 3 yards, it was going to Mr. Evan Berg, and he usually picked up those 3 yards. Also want to talk about the kid who came to play defensively. Cole Richardson, the senior, 5'7", 170. He plays running back and defensive back. 2 interceptions on quarterback Mason Palmer for Devils Lake. So Cole Richardson going to have a good chance of getting that Sports Clips MVP. We don't know who it's going to get yet. That's why you got to hang around. That's called the cliffhanger, folks. And also want to give a quick shout out to Kine Hannon. Now, where's number 24? A nice sophomore player for Coach Holman. Had some reverses, had a few rushes, picked up that big first down in the third quarter. So Hannon was outstanding. The way they use him as kind of a gadget player is something to note moving forward. But the offensive line, Andreas Good, among all of his buddies there at that great trench, we're going to call them the trench players. The offensive line played well tonight for Minot North and really helped push him over the edge to get this win. Andreas Good also had the tackle for not quite a loss, but it was on 4th down and 6 early on in the third quarter that helped propel Minot North to getting this victory. Right now we've got Corey McIver down on the field. He's got our Sports Clips MVP. We're going to try to send it down to Corey here. And Corey's talking a little bit right now, so make sure we get his attention. Corey, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Dallas. We're here with Cole Richardson, our MVP of the game. Cole, 2 big interceptions there in the first half. What was it like defensively going up, knowing that this was one heck of an offense that you were going up against? What kind of mindset did you have this week, knowing that you were going to be playing a pretty potent offense?
Just staying deep and letting no one behind you. And if they're going to throw the shorter ball than the deeper ball, just rally to the ball.
Yeah, I thought you guys did a pretty good job of that in the first half, kind of not allowing them to go over the top on you guys and then let everything underneath rallying to it. that last stand to end the game, what was it like defensively? Knowing that was that was pretty much the ball game there. What kind of mindset did you guys going in talking to each other in the huddle there on that last play?
Just like pack the middle and let nothing over the top, nothing through the middle, and just be dogs and finish the play.
All right. Well, hey, nice job tonight. Enjoy it. Be ready to go again next week. You got a couple games left here before the playoffs. This was a good ball club that you guys faced. I think there was a lot of things were done both offensively and defensively for you guys. You showed some real nice things there. Nice job. Enjoy it. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, Dallas. It looks like Coach Holman is talking with another reporter. So as soon as he gets over here, we'll get him going.
Here he comes jogging out. Look at Coach Holman.
Never mind. He's on his way up here.
Looks like he's still playing at UND here, long snapper. He looks like a sprinter tonight. Coach Holman making his way over to Corey McIver. Corey, it's all you, buddy.
Coach, I know we talked before you went in that this games like this kind of add some years onto your life. A few more like that, you might end up with a few more gray hairs like I do. But talk a little bit about the game. From the start of the game up until the end. Kind of a hard-fought game. It was one of those things where the team that probably made the fewest mistakes was probably going to end up winning this thing.
Yeah, it wasn't clean on either side by any means, but it's two really good football teams going at it. And sometimes our best stuff tonight wasn't working. And they packed the box on us, and it was hard to run, but we did enough, and our defense did enough down the stretch to win. So credit to Devils Lake. They're a very good football team.
Yeah, we talked about it in pregame, too. That offense they have is pretty potent, and your defense was challenged tonight. And these are kind of the games that you kind of want to have going into the postseason and make a strong playoff run, because you're going to meet teams like this in the playoffs. So what kind of things did you tell the guys after the game that they can take on in these last 2 weeks of the season?
Well, the message before the game was actually finish. We got to finish every play, every drive, and we didn't finish well enough in the fourth quarter until the very end there. Yeah. So we were really proud of them, but we're not anywhere close to being good enough to win all of those football games. So we have work ahead of us and some good teams coming, and I can't wait to get back to work with this crew.
Well, hey, I'm not going to keep you here any longer. Enjoy the win. Good luck these last couple weeks. Good luck next week at home.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. Back up to you, Dallas.
Great job as always, Corey McIver. You just listened to Coach Holman, who's ecstatic. Number one will maintain number one here at Minot North High School. Sentinels 26, Devils Lake 20. We also heard from our Sports Clips MVP. The Sports Clips, they bring in the MVP of this matchups. They're the home to the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel quite like an MVP, like the MVP experience Sports Clips brings to Minot. Tonight's Sports Clips game MVP was, you heard from him, Cole Richardson, the senior running back, defensive back, 5'7", 170. Tonight he played out of his shoes. And what I mean by that is 2 interceptions. And he led his team defensively, making sure number one stayed number one. Great job to Cole and company. Then we heard from head coach Jacob Holman, who second year being in the program. I had him on the podcast this past week in Humble Brag, a Swim Lessons, the podcast. Make sure you check it out. Coach Holman, he talked about, I love what he talks about. We're nowhere near being the best we can be or what we should be doing. And that's exactly, but they did enough to win. And that's what good teams do. Sometimes they don't ask how, they ask how many. And Minot North has got 7 wins on the season already. What a game that was. Now moving on to our move of the game, brought to you by Magic City Home Leisure. It's time to bring a spa into your home. Stop into Magic City Home Leisure on South Broadway and you will find a massive inventory and a next-level sales team that can help you find the perfect spa, sauna, or game for your rec room. It's Magic City Home Leisure. I think everybody and their dog knew who we're going to give the play of the game to. It was that fourth down stand with 2 yards to go. They only needed 1 yard to pick up the first down. That was Devils Lake. They gave it to Mason Palmer on the quarterback sneak, and it was all of Minot North's help defensively. The defensive line, the linebackers, they stopped a great player in Mason Palmer from getting that first down, even getting into the end zone. All they had to do was go 3 yards. So what a play from Minot North's defense. They get tonight's Magic City Home Leisure move of the game. What a night we had here on PSP Network from the owner, Nick Holberg, all of our talent team, our camera guys. We greatly appreciate you sitting at home that watches these games. We have 5 games on tonight. We'll have 5 games on next Thursday. That's right. Next Thursday, we'll have some football. They're switching it up on us. We'll be Thursday night live with 5 games. We are going to close up shop here from Minot North. Corey, you're just getting back. You gained your breath here a little bit, buddy. I know you got allergies and everything, but how excited was that Minot North football team, the fans? This was a huge win, arguably one of the best games First Western Bank Field's ever seen.
Oh, yeah, this was a big one, and talking with Coach Holman before we went on the air for the post game, he kind of looked at me and goes, man, games like this really add some years onto you. So, it was a good game. And talking with Barry Holman, assistant coach, he said there was a lot of things that they didn't do well. And Coach Holman kind of said the same thing in the post game interview as well. So it's stuff that it's on film and they can go back and take a look at and clean things up, because they're going to see some tough ball clubs here going out the remainder of the season and in the playoffs.
Something to note that I want to talk about here real quick while we're on air. We're seeing the kicker Joseph Olson for Minot North getting reps right now after the game, getting some extra kicks in. Will that come into play in playoffs if they need 3, or if it comes down to extra point? Time will tell, but something to note and keep in your back pocket. What a night for football. What a night for North Dakota sports. What a night for PSP. And what a night for myself, Dallas Hansen, for my counterpart tonight, the great, the powerful Corey McIver. Appreciate everybody joining us here on PSP Network. We hope you find yourself having a great weekend, but more importantly, number one stays number one. Devil's Lake, don't count them out yet. They've got firepower. The Firebirds will be back, but for now, Minot North maintains number one. Thank you, and good night from Minot North campus here in the Magic City.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade